Okay, so you know the Azure Sky Knights, right? The most prestigious knight order in all of Azteca. So they're holding their big recruitment exam, and basically everyone who's ever touched a sword shows up hoping to get in. And the examiners, completely over it, just standing there like, yeah, yeah, another crowd of nobodies. Watch half of them wash out before lunch. And honestly, fair because these knights are no joke. Every single member is a sword master, the kind most countries only have a handful of, and they toss around holy energy like it's nothing. They basically run a whole city. Oh, and the guy in charge, youngest person in history to ever wield a holy sword, and the youngest ever to command the order. Total overachiever. Remember him? He matters. So the exam's rolling along, all boring and normal, and then this girl walks in. Pink hair, a full on ball gown, sparkles and everything. And every jaw in the room just hits the floor. Did she really show up to a knight's exam dressed for a royal ball? The examiners take one look and go, oh, honey, no, she's way too delicate to even lift a sword. She is clearly here by mistake. Two of them literally start betting on her out loud, like Silver Coin says she drops her sword and starts crying. They were being so messy about it. I loved it. And right in the middle of all this, somebody yells, Commander on deck, and the whole room snaps to attention so fast you'd think the place caught fire. Enter the boss, Commander Urin, white hair, ice blue eyes, strolls in like he owns the place, and instead of piling on like everyone expects, he looks her over and goes, actually, I'd bet on her finishing top scorer. Total silence. Then the trials start, and this so-called delicate little noble absolutely demolishes it. One examiner literally spits out his drink. Everyone's just frozen, like, no way, what did I just witness? So Uren, very intrigued now, goes, bring me her file. Turns out her name is Echinacea, named after this little pink flower, and he mutters, huh, that name suits her. Hard to forget once you hear it. But here's where it gets good. Something about her is nagging at him, because in the future that H.E. remembers, she was never even here, and she definitely didn't have pink hair. Yeah, he's got memories of another life too. These two are going to be a whole thing. Now cut to her, alone, and she pulls out her sword. And the sword talks. It's alive, and it's snippy. It goes, oh, thinking of abandoning me again, cold-hearted master? Oh, and fun fact, it's the reason she can turn back time in the first place. And she's like, obviously I'm abandoning you. Why else would I drag myself all the way to Estaca? Shut up, you cursed sword. She came here for exactly one reason, to finally get rid of it for good. Because here's the tragedy. That sword is the reason she lost everyone she ever loved. Every single one of them. Even the one person who still believed in her after everything. Even Urin. Yeah, that Urin. See, she's been through all of this before. Lived to 25, lost everything, and clawed her way back to 20 for a do-over. And this time, there's no reset button. So the plan is simple. Pass the exam, avoid Urin, ditch the cursed sword. Because this second life, nobody handed it to her. It's a miracle she carved out with her own two hands, and she is not wasting it. Okay, tell me you're not already hooked, because chapter 2, it gets messier. Okay, so chapter 2 throws us straight into Echinacea's past life, and oh honey, this is the heartbreak origin story. She was born into the Count's family, the most prestigious powerhouse in the empire, living large with loving parents. Her older brother was the absolute best, and they were living a peaceful, happy life. Keep that in your back pocket, because the good times are about to get wrecked. Until that cursed sword was placed into her hands. The audacity of fate, right? This is the exact moment everything starts going sideways for her. It's a battle blade forged from human malice, and it makes people lose their minds completely. But get this, her body was different. She had a real talent for mana, and so she became a one-woman destruction machine. Flames, raw power, the whole dramatic package. She's unstoppable. And just like that, she's known as the demon of the cursed sword. The power was overwhelming, and she's coexisting with those darkest parts of herself. She takes out renowned sword masters and promising knights, all of them. Red Kool-Aid everywhere, and she did it with her own hands. She hopes that today she'll be defeated. Then she comes face to face with Urin. Why is it that no one can take him out? If there's a miracle, he's standing there as a member of the Azure Sky Knights who protect the Empire. He goes full serious mode. I will eliminate you. And she just begs, please, these two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. Flash to the present, and Echinacea is thinking about Uren de Hayden Corre. Though he was the Empire's third prince, she admired him only from afar and never even imagined meeting him in person. And those imaginings, he never met her like this. Suddenly, the action kicks off again, and she's on the ground with that sword out, chaos everywhere. The cursed sword's power grows way more as she fights. She's yelling she doesn't want to, hoping someone defeats her. Please save me, stop me. But the battle rages on with wild slashes and red Kool-Aid flying. A knight looks at her and goes, "Impressive, what a shame, if you were a knight." Then Captain Uren arrives on the scene. This isn't a duel, it's a subjugation. The other knights are ready to take her out because of that cursed sword. They're stunned by how strong she is, even as the demon of the cursed sword. She only wanted to, and you can tell she never wanted to do these things. She's crying, still fighting her will against the swords. Then Uren makes the call, "I will give her a chance," and the blurry voice, his words rang clear. It was a day of light like a miracle. Okay, tell me you're not already hooked for Chapter 3, because this is just the beginning of their mess. Okay, so Chapter 3 opens with Echinacea straight up monologuing about her first life, and you already know it's messy. After she was imprisoned in the darkest dungeon under Astaka Castle, the resistance broke her out and she joined the Demon King's army. And get this, she becomes the Demon King's right hand, like full Dark Lord energy, black armor, the works. She is out here conquering kingdoms and people are terrified of her. Then she drops the real gut punch. "Once I reclaim my body, parts fill back that flesh from a soft, comfortable past." She's remembering how she used to look before everything went sideways. The next day, she puts on her pink hair, that's returned, and after all that trauma, she is still the same soft, noble girl on the outside. Meanwhile, Uren is just standing there looking like a marble statue, and she goes, "Yes, no changes today either." Here's the thing, she flashes back hard. The man who gave her a chance, the white-haired commander she believed in so much. She wanted to protect him from a cradle, and she trusted that someday a miracle would come. Spoiler, it did not. The day of her miracle never arrived, falling for the demon energy's allure, starting with the people who opened her prison door, and then the owner of Caldenwood, Baron, was taken out by the, red Kool-Aid everywhere. She couldn't let him go, absolutely not. Then her best friend, after meeting him, the one who was her strong brother, also lights out. And the rest of the order, game over. This monster, she is spiraling. She couldn't escape the demon dragon's pursuit. Finally, Uren, returning from his mission, confronted the demon corpse at the ruins of Astaka Castle. Their long-awaited reunion happened in the way she least wanted. Oh, honey, no. Uren is standing there covered in red Kool-Aid, eyes wide, and she is the one who did it. Those eyes that believed in me and who once loved me were no more. She tells him she'll take out you, and then it is lights out for him too. 2 years come being haunted by the demon castle. She dreamed of her home in a small fishing village, and then, snap, she is back. A body that moves according to her will. But it's too late. Everything she wanted to do is already gone. She is screaming into the void. What am I supposed to do now? Take out everyone? Destroy everything? Now where? And then she is just floating in the night sky with that cursed sword, completely lost. Where am I supposed to go? That's when she hears the demon sword's voice. Who's there? The sword never knew how to talk. Wait, never mind. And you can hear me? Maybe you've earned the right to be my slave, master. Congratulations on becoming my slave master. She is furious. How dare you casually offer congratulations? Because of you, I have no one left by my side. My friends and family, and even the person who believed in me. And you call that smart? He wants that, wasn't it? If we use the power inside and return right after awakening me, wait, what? Master, please listen to me. You can go back, but there's a catch. What do you mean by that? That I can bring back everyone I took out? My previous master of the sword after awakening me, it's not easy, of course, but fine, just tell me how. Do you know about the wish grant? If a human desires all 10 black stones that exist, they can freely borrow the power of the wish grant. Among them, the power related with time is the strongest. With the power of Cardagia, you can turn back time once, but only once. She is on the ground, eyes wide, and she goes, "Then back time, you say. It certainly won't be easy. The demon sword won't be lying. Even a small possibility. I'll resurrect everyone who was no more by my hands." That day, half a second was reborn as a thread of hope. but to seize the miracle whose she is not waiting around. She is going to make it herself. And finally, light floods a ruined cathedral, a sword floating in the air like a divine answer. She is kneeling there, pink hair glowing, and the whole place is sparkling with hope. Keep that in your back pocket, because next chapter she is about to walk into that recruitment exam with a whole new fire. Tell me you're not already hooked. Okay, so after that whole mess with the recruitment exam, Echinacea is still stuck with her snarky, cursed sword. And get this, the sword is dragging her into a full-on flashback of the first timeline. You know how she lost everyone? Yeah, this is that story, and it is about to get messy. She's standing in these ruined halls, hood up, pink hair peeking out, and the sword is grilling her hard. What do you desire? It took me 3 years to get here. The audacity of this blade, I swear. And she just goes, take me back to a past where I lost no one. Oh, honey, the sword is not having it. Why do you want to return to the past? Because I want to bring back the people I cherish, she says, voice all soft and broken. You took them out with your own hands, the sword snaps, and now you want to disregard that? She freezes. I never wanted to take them out. Keep that in your back pocket, because this guilt is going to eat her alive later. Very well, the sword says, and what then? In a world where everyone is alive, what will you do? She looks up with those big purple eyes and just breaks a little. I just want to live an ordinary life. I am just a hollow shell. She admits she can't even remember the last time she smiled, and if she could turn back time and change herself, she wants to be happy too. I loved it. This girl is out here begging a cursed sword for a second chance at being soft. The sword goes quiet for a second, then just, good, and boom, light explodes everywhere. She is getting her second miracle, and I cannot stress this enough. This is the moment everything rewinds. Magic swirls, her body dissolves into sparkles, and the sword is yelling, do your best, crying happiness as she gets yanked through time. That sound, pure chaos. She is free-falling back into her past self. And he wakes up, pink hair everywhere, sprawled on the grass outside a fancy mansion. My body, she gasps, a flower girl calling. Her pink hair has returned, arms and legs that seem too small to be real. She is back. Then a little boy comes running. Sister? Missy? She just stares. What year is it? My family has returned to me. Divine year 1629, March until. She has been returned to the day she first grasped the demon sword. Tell me you're not already hooked. She hugs her little brother so tight, carrying a new resolve beyond despair. Inside the mansion, her maids are freaking out. You surprised me this morning, miss. Why are you wandering around like this? I'm sorry, Nora. These two are going to be a whole thing with the household drama. But then the maids drop a bomb. You said you couldn't sleep and asked me to bring you some warm milk. Don't you remember? And what I encountered was not the maid and not anyone I knew. Oh no, flashback time. That damn witch went to the kitchen and didn't return. So I went to the kitchen myself, and I had no choice but to grasp that sword to survive. Yeah, that person. The demon sword was waiting for her in the dark. Back in the present, she is spiraling. There was an empty something its owner left behind in the kitchen. Do you still have it? I'll handle it, so give it to me. She is hunting for the sword that started this whole nightmare. She finds it, the same length as the demon sword, just as I thought, and when she touches it, the blade flares with dark energy, because the first time Nora dropped the demon sword and changed, this comes back later, trust me. She clutches her chest, heart racing, and then looks down at her hand. A black curse mark is blooming on her skin. Release everything in my master's body. The sword just claimed her again. And I cannot stress this enough. She is not free yet. Okay, so Echinacea is finally home, and her maid is just losing it. My lady, it's been forever. You look so much stronger. The whole house is buzzing. Her little brother Nicole is missing, of course, because that kid is off at the magic tower being a genius. But get this, her big brother is right there waiting. And the second she sees him, she just freezes. Because you know how in her last life, everything went sideways? This moment right here is the one she has been replaying forever. She starts tearing up, he panics, and then she just launches herself at him for the biggest hug. He is so confused. Why is everyone acting weird? Are you okay, sister? But she just holds on tighter. I missed you all so much. Now it finally feels real. Haha, I guess sister is still dreaming. Oh honey, no, this is the good timeline and she is not letting go. Later, she is alone and the weight of it hits her hard. Everything I have, this is the life I must protect with everything I've got. And that is when the cursed sword decides to wake up and start glowing like it owns the place. She is mid-mana core formation, floating, hair everywhere, pure power-up energy. The mana is still running wild, but the core itself is solid. On top of that, she moved recklessly in the exam, so of course she is exhausted. But she finally has a real mana core, and she is not about to waste it. He tries to stand, sword in hand, and immediately faceplants. Bal, as! The sword is cackling, hey, wake me up gently next time. And she is just lying there like, tell me why you're still clinging to me. The audacity of this blade, I swear. Then the sword drops the real tea. Ain't it obvious? You're the only one who can handle this curse. Not the other Gogas, not anyone else, just you. And if she ever tries to ditch it again, it will devour her memories like a snack. Exactly. These two are gonna be a whole thing. She remembers the other Goga that used her past self, and the sword just goes, oh, I'm that. She could devour the sword again if she wanted, but if she lets her guard down even once, she is getting consumed by that sticky dark stuff. It can't discard the cursed sword. Keep that in your back pocket. But here's the thing, she has a plan. The place where the discarded Gogas are sealed is the Goga Hall, deep inside the Azure Sky Knights. If she can get a new Goga there and seal away the cursed sword, she might actually free herself. And there are only 3 ways in. First, by becoming a prestigious knight. Second, by inheriting a Goga from a deceased or retired owner. Lastly, the third, when a full-fledged knight of the order gets the chance to select a Goga. Outside, could the other Goga owners also have their memories? She is already scheming. She is holding the sword, thinking hard, how would I know? There are 4 Goga owners in the Azure Sky Knights, and then the camera cuts to the big 3, Vice Captain Ruen and Captain Yuren himself, looking all cool and white-haired. Yeah, that person. All of them could have memories from before. Yuren, if he remembers anything, he would be lucky if he doesn't swing a sword the second he sees her. After you betrayed him, you expect him to smile at you? She is spiraling, and I cannot stress this enough. This comes back later. So if she is going to enter the Azure Sky Knights, she has to make sure the other owners and any memories stay unrecognized. She looks in the mirror, pink hair, soft face. Do not the noble lady Echinacea Rosa. If I look like this, they won't recognize me. But the demon of the cursed sword used to be, and she flashes back to that dark armored nightmare version of herself. A flashy, high-heeled, fluffy dress? Nope, she is not doing the noble lady cosplay this time. She dumps the fancy clothes, grabs practical gear, and is already out the door. I might get cursed at, but they won't suspect anything. Being cursed at, I'm still better than being called the owner of the cursed sword, right? Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter she is walking straight into the Knights and everything is about to get messier. Okay, so Echinacea is still in full recovery mode after the exam chaos, and her maid is hovering like a mother hen. She goes, Master, is it really okay to just lounge around like this? And Echinacea is all, it's fine. I've made preparations at home just in case. Girl is already 10 steps ahead. Then we get this soft close-up of her looking all thoughtful and pretty, and boom, flashback time. A few days before she left for Azteca, she's sitting down for tea with her red-haired brother, and the vibes are immediately heavy. He's like, so you're going? And she drops the bomb. I want you to take over the family. Everyone in the Count's household's safe. Her brother is shook. He thought she was just going to play knight for a bit, not hand him the entire house. She tells him there's no guarantee she won't be controlled by someone else again, so she needs him ready. And get this, she never even told her family that fact. She just kept it locked down. He's spiraling, asking if it's because she's a woman, if their family is the problem. But then the real gut punch hits. We see her past life family all soft and smiling under the cherry blossoms. And then the lights go out on them. A green clock spins, a dark figure with a sword, and the words, she was the only one. Oh honey, this is why she came back. Back in the present of the flashback, her brother is wrecked. He says he can't tell their parents like this, and she just looks at him with those big eyes, the only person. He finally cracks and goes, all right, I'll trust you. Keep that in your back pocket. This family stuff is going to matter. He asks what she's even planning to do once she gets into the Knights, and she just smiles that dangerous little smile. Because I'm more of a genius than they are. The audacity, I loved it. Then we smash cut to the dorms, all eyes on her as she walks in looking like a whole fairy tale. And who waltzes up? This blonde, pretty boy knight who is clearly not here for the scenery. He goes, are you Miss Echinacea Rose? I am also Winterbell, assigned to the same room as you. She is not thrilled. He apologizes for the sudden greeting and asks for a moment. She flat out says yes. What is it, Miss Winterbell? And he launches into this whole speech about how he wanted to become a knight to protect people. There was an incident that made him realize he needed the power. He's being so earnest, it's almost painful. Then he hits her with the real question. What is your goal in being a knight, Miss Winterbell? And Echinacea does not miss a beat. It is to uphold chivalry, to honor feudalism, respect the weak, like Dame Teresa von Franz Arnold, for instance. She's quoting the textbook and he is eating it up. We get this gorgeous flash of her in full knight mode with a glowing blue blade, and Winterbell is starry-eyed. He says those are traits they always used and that it's extraordinary to hear that speech. Meanwhile, she's thinking, traditional, insolent, and way too extravagant. These two are going to be a whole thing. Then he drops the line that makes her brain short-circuit. If you really don't believe me, would you like to have a spar with me just as I am? She's like, are you saying that? And he goes, is that what you mean? Oh, and fun fact, he hadn't thought of sparring with someone so weak. The shade. Echinacea's face does the thing. She is done. She stands up, all calm fury, and formally requests a duel. Winterbell is already smirking, telling her again to wear proper clothes. Sir, the audacity of this man. She looks him right in the eye and goes, I accept. However, if I win, you will stop meddling in my affairs. The duel will be held outside in the training ground behind the dormitory. As for the witness, she glances over and oh, look who it is. Uren, standing right there in the hall like he owns the place. She asks him to be the witness for their little spar, and he just smiles that unreadable smile. And I cannot stress this enough. This is about to get so messy. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, the swords come out. Okay, so after that whole entrance exam chaos, Echinacea is just standing there in the grand hall looking like she wandered into the wrong party. And this blonde guy with the softest smile rolls up and goes, would it be okay if I signed up to be the squire for your path? The audacity of this man. He introduces himself all polite. I'm Ian Pelletier, 3rd year. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lady Echinacea Roaz. And get this, he says, not at all. Thank you for volunteering to be my squire. She is so confused right now. Then he drops the real bomb. And now, see you then, squire. Echinacea Roaz. She's just standing there like, I thought joining the Azure Sky Knights would get me closer to Uren, but now I'm more confused than ever. Oh, honey. Cut to later, and this dark-haired upperclassman is basically cornering her with the softest smile. Why is she still here? He goes, do you have some kind of business with me? And she just blurts out, but what about joining our club? The way he looks at her, I cannot stress this enough, is pure chaos energy. He starts explaining the whole ranking system like he's reading her a bedtime story. Some newbies already know this, but if you don't, listen up. Instead, we have set the ranking system. Every 3 months, cadets duel to establish their standings, and if you want to climb the ranks, you can challenge someone about 10 spots above you. Here's the thing though, assignments are made based on cadet rankings. If you want to know where a squire ends up, look at the ranking, and unless a knight personally selects their squire, you're stuck with whatever the system spits out. Keep that in your back pocket. So of course, Echinacea is sitting there thinking, wait, really? Now your skill level will crumble without you. And then boom, the scroll appears. You've been nominated as a squire. 1st year, Echinacea Roaz. That paper is glowing like it knows it's about to ruin her whole week. She is spiraling. What? A squire? A freshman? That means someone specifically chose me as their squire. Who would do that? And then she freezes, purple eyes wide, because she already knows. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Flashback time, she never planned to get close to any official knight. During promotion exams, you temporarily change into that training uniform. Come to the training grounds number 3 by 9 a.m. tomorrow. And now she's replaying every second of that duel like a horror movie. Any questions? Well, Sir Uren de Hayden Corre, the prodigy of training grounds number 1. Uren chose me as a squire? Was it just because I casually mentioned him during the squire test? Or could it be that he remembered? I loved it, the way her brain is short-circuiting right now. And now I'm supposed to stay by his side as a squire? After I betrayed the trust he gave me during recruitment? I wanted to see him again, but never meant to actually face him. These two are going to be a whole thing, I can already feel it. Next morning, the grand hall is packed. You've arrived. Welcome, Cadet Echinacea, Cadet Alice Winterbell, Cadet Echinacea Roaz, with Ian Pelletier officiating. And then Uren himself steps up like he owns the entire sky. Ian is hyping the whole ceremony. To the whole purity and grace, may the Empire carry order and justice. At 18th, glory be to the gods. And then he turns to Urine with that little smirk. What is that? Is it a real sword? Unbelievable. She is the top student? Urine looks at her sword and just goes, a lady's dual style, isn't that? And Echinacea, sweet summer child, freezes. I can't accept that. She draws, he draws, and suddenly the whole hall is watching these two like it's the final boss fight. Clang, sparks flying, blades locking, her pink hair whipping around like she means business. She's not attacking, but she is not giving up either. She's just dodging, half-heartedly, and Urine is staring at her like he just saw a ghost from another timeline. Okay, tell me you're not already screaming, because the way these two are looking at each other right now, Chapter 8 is about to get so much messier. Trust me. Okay, so you know how Echinacea just crashed the Azure Sky Knights recruitment looking all delicate? Chapter 8 drops us straight into her sparring match against this blonde noble, Miss Winterbell, and the whole arena still thinks our pink-haired girl is gonna fold. She's floating mid-air with that sword like it's a casual stroll, impacts flying everywhere. Get this, Miss Winterbell is swinging for real and nothing lands. She's muttering, damn it, she's not focusing and my attacks aren't connecting either. The audacity of Echinacea just dancing around looking bored while everyone else is losing their minds. Then Echinacea flashes that soft little smile under her hat, sword gleaming, and she's thinking, I dodged mostly because my thoughts aren't bloated. It would only be a waste to apologize now. Oh honey, she is so not here to play nice. Suddenly she lunges, quick, and Miss Winterbell's eyes go wide like, where did that even come from? Even if it was just a basic thrust, it needs way more speed to react, and our girl is already 3 steps ahead. Miss Winterbell is all cocky now. I can predict her next move easily, just like it says in the swordsmanship manual. Keep that in your back pocket because she thinks she's got the whole thing calculated. Spoiler, she does not. And then boom, Echinacea counters so clean, the blonde is just damn, I've lost. Sword flying, swirl of motion, and just like that, the match is over. I loved the look on her face, pure shock. Miss Winterbell goes, I won't interfere with you again, and Echinacea is all polite. I was the one being rude, Miss Winterbell. The blonde mutters this wasn't a duel, that woman wasn't focused at all. These two just rewrote the whole power ranking in 5 minutes. Some dark-haired guy watching is like, good job, both of you. I'm glad no one got hurt. Miss Winterbell thanks him for going easy and excuses herself, saying it won't affect the rankings. I see. Then please excuse me, and she's gone. As she leaves, the guy is thinking that was the first place contender? Random? He usually doesn't appoint just anyone, but this time I'm not so sure. Why would the captain appoint you as a judge? He turns to Echinacea, because of your skills, or do you perhaps have some connection to him? She just looks back all calm. No, I do not. I don't know why he chose me either. The tension is already thick. Haha, yeah, I figured you'd say that. He introduces himself, Ian Peltro, Echinacea Cadet. Don't call me commander at it. But get this, that creepy smile of his instantly reminded her of something from her past life. 3 years from now, on the day Azenica was devastated by the cursed sword's control, the Ian Peltro she met back then was a knight of Azenica. But in her memories, he wasn't smiling kindly. He was a villain revealing his vile nature. To buy himself time to escape, he sent everyone, children and the elderly, into the path of the cursed swords. Of course, after that, he's on his knees begging, please let me live. I'll do anything. She was a knight too, and there were lots of people on the other side. And I cannot stress this enough. He was no more. Lights out, taken out by her own hand. Back in the present, she just says, then I'll see you tomorrow, Sir Cadet. Even a guy like him becoming a knight 3 years later. Disgusting. So she peels off to the city because seeing that guy disgusted her. Buildings still standing, people living happily, right here downtown. The peaceful scenery of Azenica. Yeah, I came here because that guy grossed me out. She's standing at the fountain going, I really wanted to see it like this. The sword snarks how boring, Echinacea Roa, Cadet. She snaps seriously, shut up, that's not what I wanted. But look at her face, she's soaking in the piece she clawed back. Then a voice cuts through. Echinacea Roa, Cadet. She turns and it's him, Urine, white hair, cloak, that unreadable stare, Urine. Tell me you're not already hooked, because these two are about to make next chapter a whole mess. Okay, so picture this. Echinacea is out by this glowing purple fountain under the night sky when she locks eyes with Urine and she just goes for it. Do you know me? The audacity. She's not playing coy in this second life, not even a little. Urine's all soft and polite about it. Sorry, but I'm not sure who you are. She presses harder. Do you know me? You know who I am. Girl is not letting him off the hook for a second. She keeps going, haven't you seen me before? And then her whole face just drops. No way, we met when? You can see the panic creeping in because if he remembers everything, her whole plan is toast. She's spiraling hard. If he remembers everything, what should I do? And then she blurts it out. It was during last summer's banquet. Keep that banquet detail in your back pocket. Trust me. Urine tilts his head. You saw me at the banquet? And then he drops the softest bomb. I don't know who you were, but I remember seeing you. Oh, honey, these two are gonna be a whole thing. She almost says his name, why, and then she panics and goes full formal. He cuts her off gentle as anything. My name is Urine. Don't call me Commander, just Urine. I loved it. The way he just hands her that name like it's nothing. He clocks her uniform and goes, a cadet, I see. Why did you apply to be a cadet? Is it because of how I'm dressed? She fires right back, because I want to become a knight. No hesitation. I cannot stress this enough how much I love her energy here. He asks again, why do you want to become a knight? And she just says it plain. Because I like swords. Then he takes her hand, looks at her palm, and goes, you like swords, huh? The tension is ridiculous. He tells her flat out those aren't hands that have wielded a sword, and then he asks one more time, real quiet, let me ask again, why do you want to become a knight? She's spiraling in her head, thinking of all the reasons she can't say out loud. Of all the things she could say, she almost defaults to not to be his wife, but she stops herself. Instead, she just whispers, because I want to be happy. And get this, she didn't want to lie to him, not about this. She keeps going, it may sound strange, while he just stares at her with those blue eyes that once believed in her. Then she locks in, this is the one reason I don't want to lie about. It's the truth. Tell me you're not already hooked. He flips it on her. More than that, why did you come here? She tries to play it cool with some nonsense about checking the fountain, then just admits she was walking and ended up here. Same reason he's here, apparently. These two are so messy about it. Urine's got that soft warning tone. You came out for a walk? What if always someone was following you about? Why here last night of a banquet? And she just drops the real reason. She decided to become a knight. Full stop. Then she hits him with it. I heard you appointed me as your squire. Do you really not remember? He just stares. She repeats it, softer this time, and then demands to know why. She needs his reason, right now. He just says her name, Cadet of Echinacea, and she freezes. I shall? He tells her it doesn't have to be now, anytime she's ready. She's spiraling, insisting she's just a cadet, nothing more, no right to anything. And then Urine drops the line that changes everything. I'll answer after we cross swords. She asks what he'll do if she keeps him waiting, and he just smiles. She cannot figure him out, and I am living for it. Later, she's still replaying it, thinking maybe he just wants to keep her close. She knows why he chose her. If she's not strong enough, there's no reason to keep her around, and at the very least, he won't look at her the way he did yesterday. Back home, some blonde guy is giving her the side eye about the whole squire thing, but she just focuses on what she can control. Next thing you know, she's at the academy getting welcomed as Cadet of Echinacea, and this third year named Foyle is already calling her cute and promising to teach her well. Oh, chapter 10 is about to get so much messier. Okay, so after that whole mess of a duel, Echinacea is just standing there looking like she stepped out of a fairy tale. And this examiner is all, yes, senior, yes, lord, basically treating her like she already owns the place. Get this, he even offers her special customized training, and she is just like, start by assessing my level, cool as ice. Then this blonde guy in the fancy uniform pops up and is like, wait, this is supposed to be sword training? And he is just casually spinning around like a toy angel. The absolute drama. He starts grilling her, saying she is clearly trying to seduce a knight to marry rich, and I cannot stress this enough, the audacity of this man. Echinacea just smiles that soft pink-haired smile and goes, excuse me, your other insults were nonsense, but calling me a gold digger? That one actually stings. She points right at him and asks how he even managed to pass the night exam, and oh honey, he is already sweating. She drops the mic with, I don't even know where to begin pointing out the problems, and then hits him with the classic, once you become a senior, do you suddenly forget how hard the exam was? The guy is just standing there like a lost puppy while she schools him. Here's the thing, she thought she heard every possible insult already, but this one just feels extra personal. And then her cursed sword starts whispering from the shadows, Master, you're getting too worked up, aren't you? And I loved it, because you know that sword is always ready to cause chaos. The sword is all, then use me, and the whole panel goes dark and red and dramatic. Echinacea is floating there in her golden dress, looking like a vengeful goddess, and the sword is screaming. When you decide to just endure it, don't endure it, just use me. These two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. She snaps out of it, and the blonde guy is still yapping. Your words are a bit harsh, cousin. What? And then she just kicks him, straight up high-heeled boot to the face, and the sound effect is massive, like the whole panel is exploding. Keep that in your back pocket, because this girl does not play. He goes flying with a huge ACK, and she is standing over him looking completely done. Your words make me feel disgusted, senior, please understand. At the very least, I should not have to endure that kind of talk. The man is on the ground questioning his life choices. She is done with the whole knightly courtesy concept and just walks off while the sword is still yelling in the background. You stop stalling and just take him out already. But she is like, well, I don't know what that element is, but I'll show you exactly how I took down that knight earlier. She demonstrates the move, you like this, and then her heel comes down hard with a massive sound effect. The guy is on the floor going, gah, and she is just standing there like, your openings were too obvious. Re-educate it right away. Oh, honey, no, he is not recovering from this anytime soon. Then she turns to the other guy and is like, otherwise, I will report this to the commander and cancel your registration. Go ahead and register, but I'll have to tell them about that entire conversation we just had. For example, about night service, and the poor guy is just sweating bullets. She drops the final blow, you're the one who hit first. Did you have anything to do with someone else getting injured? I'll serve as a witness for that. You're Ekachasia Roal, right? And then she just walks away while he is left there broken. Tell me you're not already hooked. Cut to her meeting this dark-haired guy under the trees, and she is all, who are you? He introduces himself as Brahim Israf, third year, and he is just casually eating a sandwich like nothing happened. She is like, I heard everything that guy said, so feel free to continue, and he is thanking her for the spoiled food. He is munching away, going, so you think you did something wrong, even now? And she is like, I figured as much. Then he just gets lost in thought while she is staring at him, and he is thinking about how her level of training was different, how she could have hit him more, and if he kept getting slammed to the ground, he might not even want to hear the pain alone. He asks why she wears dresses, and she is just glowing among the flowers going, it's my preference, I like to dress up. Then she is looking at his boots, and he is like, yes, they don't match the dress, and they're not pretty either. If you like pretty things, why do you carry such an ugly, cheap sword? And she is just, I'll throw it. He is all dramatic, my eyes feel like the glass gets cracked, and she is thanking him for the food while he is just staring at her like she hung the moon. He says she seems a bit better than that guy from before, and then out of nowhere he drops, Squire to Baron Tellis, the vice commander of the Azure Sky Knights. I'm Brahim Israf, third year. He is kneeling there all formal going, I'll be looking after you until you become a full knight. Please take care of me. And Echinacea is just standing there with her eyes wide, the squire of the person and she is completely frozen. It would be better to make the Young Masters Club warmer and live well. Yeah, that person. Next chapter is about to get so much messier, you have no idea. Okay, so you know Echinacea is deep in her second chance life, right? Chapter 11 opens with her telling Senior Barbara, I'm fine, Senior, you don't have to help me that much. But he just says, I did it because I want to, and these two are going to be a whole thing. She points out my lord is the vice commander of the order, and once you become an official squire, we'll have more chances to hang than this. He admits he was so focused on urine that he didn't even think about it. Follow me. First, I have something to give you, he says. Okay, but she has to dress up more than usual so they won't even recognize me. She shows up in this stunning purple floral dress and I loved it. Total glow up. But it's strange if I think about it, Barbara Isley. With such a noticeable beauty, if she's a squire of Arena, she'd be memorable for sure. She's changed everything in a year. Looks like it will rain soon. I have to go to the dorm soon, so please wait here for a while. Then she freezes. I remember now. Once when I was hunted down by the royal family and became an underground person, the guards used to talk on stormy days. Did the deputy captain go to the cemetery again today? It always reminds me of that incident whenever it rains heavily like this. But that incident feels like it just happened a while ago. Since there was a lot of damage back then, the deputy captain's squire was taken out that day too. Get this year during the monster subjugation, Barbara Isley will be no more. I know what will happen in the future, and she is not having it. I will change as much as I can and change the future too. For example, keep that in your back pocket because her whole plan is saving everyone she lost last time. Meanwhile, some guy is like, "Do you know why I came? It's because of Senior's experiences in the book. The people near him will know about me even for sure. If I can change the future, I will find out who still wants the memories to decide." Here, this is your homework for today. Barbara hands over a thick book. You can have it for a while and hand it down if the junior like you appear. Then I will go see the Lord now. Thank you, she says. By the way, can I follow along for the monster hunt tomorrow? It'll be tough this time. They wouldn't take along a newcomer like you. You're more easier than I expected. Then there is no way. Do you really want to experience it that badly? As someone who wields a sword, it's natural. But you're not obsessed with the sword. Was it that obvious? Do I seem like that or not? If you really want to prove yourself, place in the top 3 in the upcoming preliminary ranking match. The monster subjugation is serious business, quite different from real combat. However, even beginners are prone to participate if they contribute a lot. I can assign you to 3 skilled fighters. Perhaps you are not confident? I am confident. She stares him down hard. Please take care of me during the monster subjugation as well, Senior Barbara. I love it. I will be looking forward to it, Echinacea again. Thank you, then do your homework well. I will test you tomorrow. Alone, the cursed sword starts in. Mistress, you did not going to say that you're high of a rank about, but Mama, you are going for 3rd place? No, I'm aiming for 1st place. I have to show them my skills properly so that they won't talk behind my back. If you are sure about that, why don't you just... I don't want to. I don't want to be a person who takes people out. But you've done it before. You are not in the position to talk to me like that. All gods possess special abilities, and the first time I came to know the power of the cursed sword was... The sword flares with power, and this shady guy with red Kool-Aid on his face is ranting, "She is enchanted with that kind of demon." What an idiot. I should have taken out that kind of brat from the start. When the master becomes careless, the sword takes control. It likes the aroma of hostile intent to control his master, finding and executing the optimal path to take people out. It's been a while. Just find someone who deserves lights out before it's too late. Shut up! I will decide for myself, she snaps. Then a telegram arrives and she vows, "I will no longer be tricked by you." Okay, tell me you're not already hooked because next chapter, pure chaos. Okay, so Echinacea just got this mystery telegram dropped on her desk and she is not playing around. She and her blonde buddy Winterbell are hunched over it like absolute gremlins, and the second she peels it open, her face does that whole "oh no" thing. Get this, the note is pure chaos. Can't say for sure, but I think I saw the white lion's tail, Snick, Sazin. And then it drops the bomb that the silver lion is the crest used by the royal family of the Khyber Empire. That means the Khyber royals are somehow connected to the cursed sword that was at Roel. You know how that sword is the whole reason she can rewind time? Yeah, keep that in your back pocket because this is about to get messy. A few days later, she's already back at the Azure Sky Knight's estate, looking like she owns the place. She's strolling the grounds when she bumps into this dark-haired squire who's basically living in the stables with a gorgeous white horse. He takes one look at her fancy dress and goes, "Did you wash that dress of yours?" The audacity. She fires right back that she actually served as the captain's temporary squire before, so she knows how to keep clothes clean. He just smirks and says she still looks like someone who wouldn't even set foot in a stable. Oh, honey, no. Then he straight up tells her she dresses like a delicate flower and offers her a sweet pastry like they're already besties. She takes one bite and her whole face lights up. These two are gonna be a whole thing, I can feel it. While she's still mid-pastry, a voice cuts in. Sir Baron is looking for the captain. Urin himself strides in, looking all cool and silver-haired, and the squire snaps to attention like his life depends on it. Urin tells the guy to finish pre-training and go see Baron, then turns those sharp eyes on Echinacea. She freezes for half a second because, yeah, that person, the one who might remember another timeline. They end up alone in the stable and she tries to play it cool, but Yuren just stares. He says during the duel, when she was uncomfortable, she was free to back out, and she quietly admits she doesn't feel worthy. Then he drops the real question. I wonder if you remember me, so you must hate me. She's standing there with her heart doing flips because she does remember, and she has no idea how much he knows. She tries to laugh it off, asking if it's because of her hair or something personal. He just says no and personal, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with that cursed sword. She finally blurts that it was personal interest, and he goes quiet. Then he straight up asks if she wants to settle this with a duel. The way he looks at her, absolute chaos. She tells him not to call her an imperial lady, and that if he wants a duel, she'll take him on any day. He just mounts up and rides off, leaving her standing there like, what just happened? Later, she's still reeling when this super cheerful, dark-haired girl in uniform comes bouncing up, gushing about how pretty Echinaccia's dress is and begging her to join the club. Completely different energy. And just like that, the chapter ends with Echinaccia looking like she has no idea what she just signed up for. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, the club drama and that duel are about to collide hard. Okay, so Echinaccia is out here dominating the Azure Sky Knights recruitment so hard that the Wisdom Club is suddenly all over her. This black-haired club president is giving the full pitch. A real knight needs brains, not just a sword arm, and Echinaccia is their jackpot talent. Echinaccia just shrugs it off like, yeah, I'm pretty tough, while the president gushes that she's crushing every rumor about being some delicate noble. Then she drops the big name. Echinaccia Roaz is on their watch list. And get this, who else is on that short list of 3? Cadet Alice Winterbell, Echinaccia's own roommate. The president's like, you probably know her, but oh honey, Alice is deep in a slump right now. Echinaccia freezes for a second. You two are roommates, but you barely hang out, and then it hits her. I think that duel is what caused her slump. Because of the fight with me, keep that little detail in your back pocket. So she decides maybe I should go check out the training hall in the forest where Alice always practices. One day later, door creaks open and Echinaccia is on the move. And who does she find staring at a sword like it personally offended him? Yuren. He's muttering about how her blade is always out, ready but unstable, and there's genuine hesitation in every swing. Yuren's internal monologue is messy. That duel with me affected her. It's just a matter of erasing the imprint I left on her sword. But if it were that easy, she wouldn't still be stuck in the slump. He almost walks away. Interfering with someone else's sword is rude, and for a dual blade guy like him, it would just feel like an insult. Best not to meddle. But then Echinaccia steps right into the clearing. Yuren locks eyes with her and goes, if I left a shadow on her sword, I should be the one to erase it, Miss Roaz. The air gets real thick real fast. He calls her dual request the most disrespectful thing he's ever heard, but Echinaccia just smiles. Ah, sorry, you seemed so focused. Yuren snaps, how is sparring any different from a thug in a back alley? And she fires right back, so are we sparring or not? I accept your challenge. Draw your sword, thanks. Then the blades meet, and I cannot stress this enough. The whole forest lights up with the force of it. They skip every formality and just go. Yuren's already sweating, it's hard just to block her strikes, and no matter how he attacks, she receives them instantly. Fast, accurate, she's closing in. Wait, just now, Yuren's eyes go wide. It's the exact same sword style he used during their duel a few days ago. But no, it's different. The style is similar, but the level is on another plane entirely. She's executing his own technique with greater refinement. The audacity! Yuren's mind is racing. If she keeps going like this, she might not even realize what she's doing, or worse, fall into that despair spiral from feeling weak. If this continues, we can stop now, he thinks, already pulling back. But Echinaccia just grips her sword tighter, purple eyes blazing, and says, no, I'm fine. Yuren stares at her for a long second, then lifts his blade again. So please, one more time. These two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. Tell me you're not already hooked for whatever Chaos Chapter 14 drops next. Okay, so the sparring match is over, and Alice Winterbell is just standing there looking completely shook. She goes, Lady Roaz, so right now, what you just did to me was, and Echinaccia is like, I didn't do anything. Girl, you just rewrote her whole worldview. Get this, Alice is still processing that Echinaccia just had a sparring match as fellow cadets and somehow leveled up mid-fight. Even if my swordsmanship completely changes after this match, what does that have to do with me? That's all thanks to your own effort, Miss Winterbell. Through this duel, I realized something. And then Alice drops the softest apology ever. I thought you had no interest in swordsmanship and that you weren't taking the path of a knight seriously. I apologize for judging you based solely on shallow appearances. You take the sword more seriously than anyone. The blonde guy watching is like, he said it completely different from usual. Echinaccia's face just sparkles with discovery, full genuine gratitude and respect. It's true, I don't really like swords, so if Tell take your word for it, won't it be? These two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. But of course, the moment gets ruined by the most chaotic banter. Walk a little further away when we do, you smell like sweat. I said you smell, so keep your distance. You're no different, Lady Roaz. That's why I'm going to wash up. I'm using the bath first. The audacity. Cut to Echinaccia alone, and the cursed sword is already yapping. Alice Winterbell was so serious, I just got caught up in the mood. Damn cursed sword, can't you shut up? Right now, even hugging my arm feels like a chore. I barely had strength to lift a sword, but you ate all the food for breakfast even though you didn't want? And then she spots it, breakfast set out on the desk with zero note left. But it was clearly Alice Winterbell who brought it, same as right after the exam yesterday. Such pure kindness. My head's ringing, stop talking, just like the cursed sword said when I woke up this morning. Echinaccia is just staring at the food like she's never received such goodwill before, so I don't know how to react. I think you'll make the top 3, but why did you tell me to be ranking 8th and 9th? I'm not interested in that. I just want a good sleep of my own free will. Then? Okay, so now she's out training with this dark-haired senior and he's loving the confidence. I like the confidence. So the training grounds are this way. What should I do next? Then let's stop here for today. We'll still have the ranking matches tomorrow. I'm really fine though. I have to go see Lord Hayden this afternoon. Speaking of which, yesterday, are they already here? He only told me to stay by myself. He left when, did the captain already meet Lord Edie? Senior Baraha? It's nothing. I need to go too, so let's stop here for now. Yes, understood. Good luck in the ranking match tomorrow. Thank you, and thank you for your hard work. Thank you as well. First, I should cool down and so get some sleep. My body's not trained enough, so lightly run before taking a toll. She's out there sprinting like her life depends on it. Finally found you, Cadet Echinaccia. Where you go, Senior, I got number 8. Of all people, why him? Hello, Senior, is something the matter? It's about the upcoming ranking match. Your first match won't have any records, so without any records by drawing lots, go ahead, pick one. You can pick what the top 3 are not given the monster examination. When you go, Senior, I got number 8. That's pretty unlucky, Cadet Echinaccia, huh? Your first opponent, you've probably heard of him too. It's Cadet Mikael, younger brother of Dame Teresa, owner of Giosa. There's no way I could forget. On the day I was controlled by the cursed sword, he was one of the people I failed in Astaka. A blonde female knight took out the remains of a boy who looked like Mikael. Keep that in your back pocket because this is about to get messy. Of course, I believe in you. I'm still not a person who, next is Alice, again, thank you, Senior. And the biggest problem is the presence. Urine? If he came all the way to the fountain, don't tell me. Is he here to check if I'm really the cursed sword's owner? If that were true, it makes sense why he'd walk into each other's path. From my perspective, I'm a pathetic weakling who could only snap at him without, but if he doesn't remember anything, it was personal curiosity. Like he said, he's simply been watching me since the birthday banquet last year. If that's true, then there's no way something so romantic would be... Hello, actually, Mr. Cadet Echinaccia, are you listening? I'm sorry, what did you just say? Cadet Baraha wants to apologize to you. What? He said he made several mistakes with you and asked me to arrange a chance to apologize. Of course, you need to calm him down. Just because someone wants to apologize doesn't mean you're obligated to accept it. Hard to believe that guy would reflect on anything. What's he scheming? When does he want to meet? Preferably this evening if possible. Apologies. What is this about? Was there some kind of conflict between cadets? Captain Urine. Oh, there was a bit of a conflict between cadets, Captain. What kind of conflict? Cadet Echinaccia. Yeah, tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, these two are about to collide hard. Okay, so Yuren is still out here being the most professional commander alive, right? He tells Echinacea their little chat is a personal matter and she should just go. But she is not having it. She goes, "If you want to apologize, then talk to me like a proper person." And I cannot stress this enough. The audacity of this pink haired menace. Urine just sighs like a man who has dealt with way too much today and finally caves. He goes, "Fine, I'll meet you later," and she is already glowing about it. Then he turns to his subordinate and is like, "I have something to discuss with Cadet Echinacea, so leave us alone." And the guy is just standing there going, "Yes, sir." So they walk off together under the trees, and Echinacea is just staring at him like she is seeing a ghost. His hair looks like finely drawn, pure silver, she thinks, and every time she sees it, it's such a beautiful back view. Oh, honey, she is so gone already, and they haven't even sat down yet. Urine catches her staring and goes, "I'm sorry, but I couldn't hear you properly, Commander." She panics and is like, "No, never mind." Then he just says, "Follow me, Cadet Echinacea. Keep that in your back pocket because these two are going to be a whole thing." They end up in this fancy little sitting area, and he asks what else she wants to say. She goes, "Right now, I just want to bury myself in bed and sleep," which is so real of her. Then she spots something and her whole face softens. It's the flower that sways. Get this, she pulls out a little blue bottle and is like, "This is an ointment that will fill my wounds on use." She remembers when they first saw each other at last year's birthday and how they came to remember each other from then. The vibes are soft and sweet, and I loved it. But then the mood flips hard. She is thinking this feeling is strange, a lingering sweet feeling, and could it be that he was worried about me? Meanwhile, Yuren is just standing there looking like he is fighting every emotion in his body. Tell me you're not already hooked. And time passed, cut to the Frisian ranking tournament, which has begun, and everyone is losing their minds. Two guys are gossiping hard about that woman who is my first round opponent. Ha, that lady who graduated early as the top freshman admission? Yeah, that person. They are being so messy about it. One goes, "She is my current self as a cadet of the Azure Sky Knights. Sister completely overreacted." And the other is like, "No matter how my opponent is, I'll take first place no matter what." The confidence is wild. Then they spot her and one of them freezes. "Isn't that Alice Winterfell? Aren't those the famous for not getting along? When did they become close enough to talk like that?" And I cannot stress this enough. The way they are staring is pure chaos. Mikhail is over here ranking people in his head, like number 1, Mikhail von Franz Albrecht, number 2, Echinacea Roaz. He is already planning his victory speech, and the way he is hyping himself up is almost cute. Almost. The arena is packed and the announcer is going wild. The Flame always dances, deploys specialized swordsmanship, uses swordsmanship that aims for powerful single blows through counterattacks based on defense. Echinacea is just standing there in her white dress, looking like she owns the place. Mikhail is thinking, "Why am I getting distracted by a woman who always manages to bother me? It's all that woman that I'm having such thoughts." He decides to stop thinking these things and focus on his victory. Then he goes, "I'll crush you with this swordsmanship." Oh, honey, no. They clash and the whole arena is holding its breath. He is swinging hard, she is moving like water, and then boom, one clean move and it is game over for him. The crowd is losing it. The announcer screams to "The winner is Echinacea Roaz." Mikhail is on the ground going, "What just happened? Cadet Mikhail lost?" The entire hall is in shock and I am living for it. This comes back later, trust me. He is just lying there with that defeated look while the whole tournament is reeling. Echinacea just casually took out the guy who was ranking himself number 1 without even breaking a sweat. Okay, chapter 16 is about to get even messier because now everyone is watching her. Okay, so right after the ranking battle dust settles, Yuren is walking off when he just freezes mid-step. Get this, he spins around with the biggest face because Echinacea is standing there, all pink hair and soft white dress like she owns the place. The audacity of her just existing and already scrambling his brain. Then he straight up yells, "Michael!" And this black-haired guy is just strolling away like nothing happened. Uren's all, "Hey, wait for Lonely," but Michael waves it off with, "It's fine, everyone makes mistakes sometimes." Oh honey, no. Uren is not letting that slide. Uren hits him with, "It wasn't a mistake, didn't you see?" And Michael's just, question mark? What? See what? And Uren gets all cryptic and snippy, like if you don't know, then forget it and live in ignorance. You only see as much as you understand. These two are being so messy about it already. And I cannot stress this enough. Urine just stares at Echinacea with this soft, flower-filtered look like he's never seen a woman like her before in his life. Keep that in your back pocket, trust me. Then he's all, let's go, and Michael's scrambling, wait, go where? They're heading out because they need to keep training and can't miss a single match. Michael's still embarrassed he lost to a lady, but Urine just smirks and drops. After this ranking battle is over, no one will feel embarrassed about losing to her. Yeah, that person is already fully hyping her up. Cut to Echinacea sitting alone thinking about Michael, guessing it makes sense she's his younger sister or whatever. But then, boom, Urine's mind flashes hard to this red sky nightmare. He doesn't remember much about the monster house, but the home and the chaos, oh, it's burned in. In the flashback, it's pure chaos. Someone screaming A, and calling for Michael while Urine holds this desperate girl who's screaming like broken glass. There's red Kool-Aid everywhere, and he's just glad he got to say the tag of Maine alive. Turning back time was totally worth it. Back in the present, there's still fight energy flying. Someone yelling, Michael, you took your sister as hostage, but that defensive style doesn't suit you. Maybe drop a tip for Toda's sake? Then suddenly, Miss Rose, and Urine's praising her, well done, you showed a different side from when we sparred. Echinacea's all just call me by my name Winterbell. I'll call you casually. Will you stay with me again? Then she goes, then call me Ek from now on. Urine freezes, like, I'm not quite ready for that yet. The audacity, these two are gonna be a whole thing. She reminds him, we're facing each other in the second round, right? Of course, he's been looking forward to it ever since. But then, oh no, he was hoping to enjoy this quietly and quietly. And just like that, the arena erupts with as their match kicks off. They're facing off, swords drawn, and Echinacea's thinking, how could I turn away from eyes like these? Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to play along. And then she goes full beast mode, swinging that blade while Urine just watches like a true prodigy, no doubt about it. I loved it. The other knights are losing their minds, saying she's treating Alice like she's giving her a private lesson. If you ignore the fact she can't use mana, she could even take on actual knights. The captain knew that. That's why he made her a squire. So who started those cheating rumors anyway? Congrats on making first cadet Echinacea. Until the next ranking battle or duel, she's number 1 among the squires. Upperclassmen are already nervous, the top ranks are gonna be a mess. She's all you're flattering me, I just want to go back quickly, but that's getting annoying. This black-haired senior's like, now I understand why the captain chose you as squire. He must have seen your talent. What's your secret? The Rode family isn't particularly known for swordsmanship. Did someone teach you? But Echinacea just drops, no, I'm self-taught. You learned to wield a sword on your own? Oh, right, you must be exhausted. Sorry for keeping you. Then Urine shows up then? What a pain, it's easier if she just made a scene. Were you talking to Senior Yuri? It was nothing, just about the freshman rankings. Anyway, is Alice okay? Your rank ended up much lower than your actual skill. Echinacea's like, oh, that I don't mind. I gained something more important than rank. For now, I plan to focus on refining my swordsmanship. What a knightly answer. And Urine's eyes go soft. Alice, honesty and chivalry. Nothing like someone like you. I really hope you become a knight of the azure skies. Until now, he almost thought swordsmanship had him with nothing more than a method to efficiently take people out. But when he crossed swords with her, it felt different. He felt like he was being reminded of how lonely and empty his life as a swordsman was. Yes, there are those who take up a sword not to take out, but to protect. Of course, if you ever need, feel free to ask me to spar, Alice. With you, I think it would be a joy to cross swords. She thanks him. Yuri, I'm so glad I got to know you. And as they wrap up, she goes, I'll never forget today. Tell me you're not already hooked because next chapter, these two and that cursed sword are about to get even messier. Okay, so the Azure Sky Knights are buzzing about this huge purge and everyone's huddled over the captain's orders like it's pure gossip gold. Get this, the top 3 freshmen just got moved to a special table and the whole room is side-eyeing them. You can already feel the underestimation starting, and I cannot stress this enough. This mission is about to get messy. And there's our girl, Echinacea, pink hair perfect, sitting pretty in that white dress like she owns the entire order. She's casually like, I'm curious to see their skills in this purge. The audacity of her looking this elegant while everyone else panics, I loved it. Cut to her talking with this blonde senior who's totally thrown because she suddenly changed her mind about following him. She goes, I don't want to meet the captain in any real battle appearance yet. If it's experience I need, I can get plenty later. Why this purge specifically? Oh, honey, keep that reason in your back pocket. Then she pairs up for her first purge with this black haired guy who's already impressed. So you think you can do well as well, he says, and she's all smiles. Senior Barbara, these two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. Ah, Essentia, nice to meet you, Senior. He's starstruck, never thought he'd be in the same class. That's amazing. He clocks her as Alice Winterbell and admits he'd hate to stay so formal. What business do you have with me? Nothing much, she shrugs, but you saw the announcement. I came to tell you to prepare well. No matter how talented, this will be your first real battle. Yes, of course, but the Commander Urin's special division can't always take requests, yet this purge seems different. That's right, every spring they pick a known warm monster just for the newbies. It's partly to show off how strong the Order really is, and this time the destination is White Crow Canyon. That place around last summer, since the canyon sits near the border, it was used for smuggling operations. The whole vibe already feels heavier. It turned into a battlefield and many soldiers were no more there. Places like that can easily become large-scale monster dens. Echinaceia's eyes go distant as the previous life crashes back in. In that timeline, the Commander Dietrich was a merciless, results-only machine. The Flash is pure chaos and red Kool-Aid, and she snaps back to the present. Yes, thank you. Oh, change of plans for the empty Captain's Square. Is the senior joining as well? I thought so. Something is definitely going to happen before this purge. Including this, they'll leave no room for surprises. And among the good knights, there may be someone who is not quite so good. She wants to find out something specific, and the sunset is doing the most while she schemes. Spiritual power may be a key influence at White Crow Canyon. Well, why so surprised you're the captain, sir? Perhaps you only have short days left in your position. It's only natural. Yes, understood. About rescuing Urin, I can watch him up close, right? A spear must have personal business right next to the Lord. You probably won't last a second before going to help him. No need, she fires back. Don't worry about it, still go back in 30 minutes. No, I can do it. Don't like doing things alone, right? You're a lady after all. Look over there. If we run into other Glossa, connect. Wow, running like this on the battlefield is heartwarming. Then suddenly it's Sir Dietrich. Dietrich? The way her face changes, oh, you already know this is big. I remember that red hair. It must be Dietrich Saroin. Flashback hits hard. Dietrich was a good knight who escaped with Teresa and intended to deliver Alliance news to Urin. You being here means Teresa couldn't stop you. You should be lights out here. The clash is pure nightmare fuel. Twisted face, cries and groans, red Kool-Aid everywhere. The memory of that red Kool-Aid dripping over Teresa's soft hands is still vivid. Ugh, if he had remaining free will, Dietrich would still be with them. But the cursed is a normal weapon now, only means he's not a Glossa owner. He's a true Glossa who hasn't become a master yet. In other words, Dietrich has no memory of his past. She's not my lover. Calm down. Right, not yet. Want cheer up, kid. Don't look across Sir Dietrich. Helping a junior feels wrong? That's totally lame. Look around more. If you really care about her, think how you look to others. He knows geniuses pretty well, especially the captain. They were roommates. All geniuses are crazy in their own way. Someone ordinary like him just accepts it's hard to understand, like her outfit. But really, he came to say that dress suits her well today. It's pretty and he likes it. As Echinacea watches Dietrich and wonders if he was always like that, and if it's tied to the cursed Glossa. Next chapter is about to spill even juicier secrets. Tell me you're not already hooked. Okay, so after that whole storm of chaos settles, Echinacea's standing there with this junior knight who looks completely wrecked. She goes, feels like a storm just packed through, and he's all sorry for not thinking things through. But she's chill as ever, telling him it's okay. Get this, she softens with that gentle smile and those floating flowers, explaining he didn't help just because she's a lady, but simply because. The guy thanks her for saying that under the sunset glow, looking so relieved. Oh honey, the way she just dismantles his guilt. Then I'll be going now, she says. The barracks are near where the deputy commander and I stay, so if you can't manage, come on. Well then, let's get back to work. And just like that, she's walking off into the orange sky. Cut to night under the stars, and Echinacea's alone with her thoughts by the tents. Why are you staying like that, she mutters. The cloak Urin gave me, I'm returning it today, or he might plan on keeping it forever again. No, I don't want that. So she heads over, thinking, good, I should leave it here while I'm at it. Whatever reason, for a little while, like just a minute, he helped me. I can't increase the contact of someone coming only under me. Keep that fretting in your back pocket. But then she freezes. Someone is inside the barrack? She peeks into the dark and that presence hits her hard. That presence? It's Urine sitting there like a shadow on the bed. I was curious. I should have checked before anyone comes in, she thinks while lighting a candle. And boom, he calls out, Cadet Echinacea, what brings you here? These two are already so messy about it. Ah, I came to return. Sorry for the delay. Your end seems a little different from usual today. Are you just here to return that? Yes, that's right, she says. Why any something, any that? Ah, thank you for the medicine and honey tea last time. Did those help you? Yes, very much so. Good to hear, he replies, and then this soft smile lands that has her completely reeling. Urine smiling so defenselessly like that. It's like he's smiling at me with affection. But she slams the brakes hard, telling herself that's nonsense. Such a misconception is far enough to Urine. Oh, honey, no, the denial is Olympic level. Excuse me, Commander, I will be going now. Wait, have you ever encountered monsters? Monsters? The vibe flips so fast and I cannot stress this enough. This question is loaded. When I was wandering the demon realm, monsters would appear in every corner place I passed. Because of that, when I was gathering herbs, I had to fight monsters quite a bit. I got sucked into that place and had a terrible time. I have seen them before. I don't doubt your sword skills, he says, but monsters are unpredictable creatures, so please be careful not to stray far from my side. I watched you during the cadet selection exam, and you're exceptional. The audacity of that protective line. These two are going to be a whole thing. Thank you for your high praise. Sorry for disturbing your rest. He tells her he wasn't about to sleep, so no need to worry, then go back and rest comfortably. Outside, she mutters that way of speaking was really, and snaps at her cursed sword. Shut up, Bal. From now on, don't even mention his name. Meanwhile, Urine's left alone, replaying every second. What did she mean by that? What was the thought when she said those words? I don't know. And that night, he has a dream at a banquet full of brilliant colors. He dreamed he was dancing with someone whose face he couldn't see, but who was somehow familiar. So warm and kind that he almost cried without realizing it. Then, from now on, war began the raid on White Crown Castle. Okay, tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, the real storm hits. Okay, so the vibe is already heavy as lead out here in the snowy wilds, and Urine's just standing there looking like the weight of the whole order is on his shoulders. Echinacea strolls up in that dramatic black dress and giant hat like she owns the mountain, goes EK, and straight up asks if he's mentally prepared. The audacity of this woman, I swear. She flashes that soft little smile and goes, more or less, then casually asks if he's coming with her, senior. Urine's face does that whole I want to but I can't thing because someone has to stay and guard the camp with the injured. Keep that in your back pocket because these two are already so messy about duty versus feelings. He looks at her like he's trying to memorize her face and tells her to take care, don't take any poison, the whole protective commander package. She just answers yes, all calm and collected, and you can already feel the tension crackling between them. Oh honey, this is not a normal senior-junior chat. Cut to the deep woods and boom, green monsters everywhere, the kind that make regular knights sweat. One of them gets a solid kick and the whole pack starts swarming. Here's the thing, these are the round 20 beasts from the face of the mountain, and there are a lot of them. The other knights are already in formation talking strategy, but Echinacea? She just stands there in that fancy outfit like the monsters are a mild inconvenience. Then she draws her sword and the whole energy of the battlefield shifts. Tell me you're not already grinning. The monsters scream K-I-E-A-A-A and charge, but she answers with pure golden light. Get this, her sword is Langiosa, the holy sword that amplifies mana and grows stronger against evil. It's the kind of legendary blade that never accepted a killer as its wielder, until her. She thinks to herself how Langiosa always rejected her, just like a certain white-haired someone. The sword glows brighter and brighter as she swings, and every monster that touches that light is instantly game over. I loved it. She's so elegant even while cleaning house. She finishes the last of them without a single speck of dirt on her face or her pretty boots, and the watching knights are just standing there stunned. One of them goes, "Look at that woman," like she just rewrote the rulebook. Meanwhile, she's pouting about her boots getting scuffed. The dual energy is unreal. Storm clouds start rolling in fast, so the whole group decides to head back to camp before things get worse. Yuren walks right up to her, all tall and silver haired and intense, and she just whispers, Yuren, like her heart skipped. These two are gonna be a whole thing, mark my words. He tells everyone the after party is postponed and to return to camp, then turns to her specifically and says, Good work. Wait for me once we're back. She answers with a soft, yeah, but her eyes are doing that deep, knowing thing. Oh, she is definitely not just thinking about the weather. Inside her head, she's spiraling. She remembers everything that was erased, including that Barbara guy and the old timeline. She's wondering if Yuren remembers too, and if he does, he'll take care of it. The way she says his name in her thoughts, pure soft chaos. Meanwhile, Yuren is having his own private meltdown. He's thinking, why doesn't she hate me? Because in the other timeline, he was the one who put her lights out. He can't understand how she can look at him so gently if she really remembers everything. The guilt is eating him alive. He starts piecing it together. If she truly remembers, there's no way she'd act this calm unless she's testing him. He realizes she might be investigating who turned back time, and the only thing that makes sense is the cursed sword. Suddenly, every soft smile she gave him feels like a trap. And then it hits him full force. Urian is testing me. She's keeping him close on purpose, watching every move, waiting for proof that he's the owner of the cursed sword. Once she's sure, who knows what she'll do. I cannot stress this enough. His entire worldview just cracked. Right after that bombshell, Echinacea suddenly takes off somewhere into the rain without a word. Uren's eyes go wide and he calls after her, but she's already moving with purpose. He's left standing there realizing she's heading somewhere important, and he has no idea if it's toward him or away from him forever. He pulls that blue cloak tighter and follows, face set like stone, because there's no way he's letting her disappear into the storm alone. Whatever she's about to do next, these two are on a collision course, and Chapter 20 is going to be pure chaos. Tell me you're not already hooked. Okay, so Echinacea is out in the rain with that big umbrella, and she is not letting Uren out of her sight. She erases her presence like a total pro and follows him into the foggy cliffs, because if the commander is sneaking off alone, yeah, something is up. She's muttering to herself the whole way, like, what if I get caught? But then she just goes, it's fine. This rain and fog hide everything. Girl is committed, and I cannot stress this enough. She is about to walk straight into chaos. She spots him standing on the edge of a cliff like some tragic romance novel cover, and her brain is racing. If he's leaving the barracks alone, it must be for a reason. So she decides this is her chance to find out what he's after. Uren is just standing there in the mist, all broody and silent, and then, get this, he starts drawing his sword. Echinacea freezes. Does Uren know I'm here? From what I can see, it looks like he's searching for someone. Suddenly, golden light explodes around his blade and he swings, and the air just shatters. Echinacea is watching like, what is he trying to stop? And then the whole cliffside lights up with this wild slash of pure energy. He keeps going, cutting through the air again and again, and then, oh honey, something answers back. Purple energy rips open the sky, and these glowing red eyes start staring out of the darkness. Specters. The absolute worst kind of monster. Echinacea's eyes go huge. A specter? And the narration drops the lore. Specters are among the most dangerous monsters out there. They possess hosts, and even a master-level knight could struggle if they get caught off guard. Keep that in your back pocket. She's putting it together so fast. Braha must have gotten caught up in that. If that's the case, so that's why Uren came here alone. Uren must be the only social climber who remained useful, the only one the specters would come to eliminate. But then the sword, yeah, that cursed sword, starts talking. Master, look over there, and Echinacea's face goes pale. Isn't that dangerous? No, it's fine. Linguisa is strongest when facing evil. And then she draws that glowing blade and just goes. She unleashes this massive golden slash that lights up the entire cliff, pure radiance cutting through the purple nightmare. And Uren? He turns around mid-fight and just stares, and her as well. These two are gonna be a whole thing, I swear. After the blast settles, Echinacea is just standing there in the rain with her umbrella like nothing happened. We should head back, and she's smiling to herself. I can finally breathe a little easier. But then the ground starts glowing purple under her feet, and she goes, huh? A rift just appeared. What? Uran is yelling, "You're really going to open a rift open nearby?" And Echinacea is panicking, "I don't know either. If Uran had known, he would have sealed it already. That means this rift never appeared before." Suddenly, people are screaming, "It's a rift! Everyone evacuate the area!" And Echinacea is spinning around going, "Where's Braha? Over there." And then she spots him, Senior Braha, Braha, and this guy is just standing there looking completely out of it. "Braha, give me a hand," but he just stares blankly. "I ordered all the cadet servants, but there's one fresh man missing. Hasn't anyone yet." Echinacea is losing it. "Braha, I'm here. That man's dangerous. Doesn't he know that man can't hear me?" She's screaming, "Hey, if you're there, answer me." And then this purple vortex starts swirling, and a voice from inside goes, "Braha, hurry, get out of there." But Braha just stands frozen as the energy wraps around him. "Oh no, oh no, no, no." Echinacea is yelling, "Hey, you're safe." But Braha's face twists and purple energy explodes around him. He's getting pulled into the rift, and she's reaching out, screaming, "Senior!" "No way, oh no, Braha, you idiot." And then a dark figure with glowing purple eyes appears in the void. The figure steps forward through the darkness, and Echinacea's eyes go wide with pure recognition and dread. "Ian Pelletro, yeah, that person. Tell me you're not already hooked, because whatever just crawled out of that rift, chapter 21 is about to get so much messier." Okay, so Echinacea is mid-chaos with this purple rift energy swirling around her, and she spots him, Jan Pelletwo. She's like, "Wait, you?" And the sword is already snarking that it's dangerous and she should get out of there, but girl is not listening. Jian's just standing there looking all serious in the purple glow, and Echinacea is like, "We should escape." But get this, he tells her she should join a theater troupe instead of the academy. The audacity. Then he asks what she was even talking about. Suddenly, Baron Kess shows up all dramatic, going, "You two, what are you doing over there?" And Jan just bolts. He's like, "I'm on my way now," and pieces out, leaving Echinacea hanging. Classic. Baron Kess is furious, demanding, "What about Brahma?" And then this ominous announcement drops. Orders from the vice captain, seal the gates, evacuate. Echinacea is standing there in full purple aura mode, looking like she owns the place. She tells him, "Don't go outside, stay here with me," and they're sealing the gates now. But Baron Kess? Oh, honey. He declares he won't let anyone pass through here. In the end, Baron couldn't. We flash to this whole "but then" moment. Turns out, thanks to him, a good number of people made it out. Echinacea is standing over him in the rain of purple energy, and she's thinking about how the ones who should live and the ones who should leave, this really sucks. And then bam, someone comes flying in with a massive OW, and it's pure chaos. John is back in the fray, purple energy exploding everywhere, and he's yelling, "Stop me," while launching himself at whatever's coming. He's going full hero mode, leaping, swinging, screaming, "Ash!" And then he realizes it's dangerous, Vice Captain. The energy is swirling into this massive purple vortex, and everything is going sideways fast. The vortex engulfs everything. John is caught in it, reaching out, and then white light. When the dust settles, he's on cracked ground going, "No way." And what the hell just happened? Someone in a blue coat is standing there with him. Cut to a completely different scene. Red sky, ruined landscape, and there's Echinacea looking devastated. She's saying, "Ugh," and then we get this whole lore dump about rupture. A wrong in space, a mysterious realm severed from the world. This space was left behind by Lakia Giosa. Here's the thing, the divine sword formed from space by a god. Unlike Lakia Giosa, who destroyed time, Lakia Giosa had the nature of electro and drifting through space. It had no known form and only records, but where Lakia Giosa passed, the torn space became ruptures. That proved the existence. Back to the red wasteland, Echinacea is staring at the sky going, "Now what is it if it's not a real ordinary door?" And and then John is there with her going, "A what?" She tells him, "No, it's not a rupture." "What? But those tents..." She's explaining, the space inside a rupture reflects the environment where it formed. Lakia Giosa doesn't create space, it slices and separates existing space. And then she drops the bomb. You know all the way through who the rupture on purpose. Oh, that's real. John is losing it. "What are you, crazy? What the hell were you thinking?" She's like, "I thought about what?" And he goes, "I'm turning right now, so it's best if you keep your mouth shut." What's up with this girl? Is this really the Echinacea Azay I know? She says she feels like a completely different person. I'm debating whether I should take out you mostly or leave you to remain simple. Still not conclusive. Honestly, I really don't want to take people out. I've been thinking because of that, I used to be so sick of it. I just want to live peacefully. Live without having to take anyone out or be threatened by anyone. But then again, she grabs him and he's spiraling. Should even consider someone a person if they're so pathetic I can't even count them as army? Why does she look like that? Why do her eyes look like that? A right person anyway. Maybe I should. It's going to be a pain dragging you around until I find Simple. Didn't look careful as boy in here either. He goes, "Hi, look, but calm down. You should have come after me instead. I would have laughed it off and left you alone. I'm okay with whether you go to Mr. Semple, but she's got that intense look. I can't stand sitting still. What did I even do? You're clearly misunderstanding something. But shouldn't we focus on surviving this first? That's not what you should be thinking about right now. Are you someone who can perfectly stay calm? Wait, you're clearly talking about something. It was just an accident. I see. And then, shwing, she draws the sword. Just as I thought. You'll never change, Simple. Oh, I cannot stress this enough. These two are gonna be a whole thing. Keep that in your back pocket because next chapter, the real mess starts. Okay, so picture this. The sky is pure fire orange, the ground is cracked, and Echinacea is face to face with this absolute menace of a guy who just will not shut up about how she stole his chance. He is seething, like full body rage. He grabs her by the collar, eyes wild, screaming, "Why did you do it?" And she just stares back like, "Sir, you are being so messy right now." The audacity of this man, I cannot stress this enough. And then he snaps, full on, "You crazy bitch" energy, lunging at her like a man possessed. Oh, honey, no, you do not want that smoke. She tries to shake him off, yelling, "Let me go, right now. You really want to get wrecked?" But he is locked in, hearing her voice and just freezing for a second. Keep that in your back pocket because that reaction is not normal. He collapses, clutching his head, groaning that everything is too loud. Meanwhile, Echinacea is just standing there like, "This isn't a free-for-all, you know, you can't just attack people." Girl is trying so hard to be the bigger person. But then he is back on his feet, charging her again, and she is done playing nice. She tells him if his reason makes sense, maybe she spares him, and he just screams, "You monster bitch." Classic. These two are already a whole thing. Get this, he starts monologuing about how he pushed himself into a duel, how people who didn't put in any work just steal what should have been his. He is spiraling hard, and Echinacea is just watching this train wreck unfold. She hits him with the cold truth. You wasted your life looking up to those ranked knights. Training with the opposite sex is what got you here. And I loved it. She is not sugarcoating a single thing. He crumples, muttering that he hates being lucky and knowing nothing of hardship, and she just goes, "You said it didn't work hard." The way she dismantles him with pure logic, chef's kiss. Okay, so then she turns to leave, and he is still on the ground, and she is like, "Damn it, I need to get out of here." But of course, her cursed sword is right there, glowing, and she is staring at it like it personally wronged her, which, fair. She reaches for it, and the second her fingers wrap around that hilt, boom, instant flash of pure power. The guy's eyes go wide, and she is already swinging. You know how she is with that blade. One clean strike and he is down, red Kool-Aid everywhere, and she is just standing over him with this cold look. Then she notices something wild. She was empty-handed a second ago, and now the sword is just there. Yeah, that sword. She looks at him, all soft for half a second, and says she just adjusted her resolve a bit. Then she drops the real talk. In her previous life, she lost everyone she cared about, and there will not be a second chance. She is not losing anyone ever again. So she raises that cursed sword and vows that from now on, no one who loses will come back. She is done playing defense. And right as she says it, the fracture rips open and a full-on monster crawls out, purple and screaming. She is already mid-swing, pink hair flying, yelling at herself to move when a familiar voice cuts through the chaos. Echinacea Roaz? Oh, you already know who that is. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, it gets so much messier. Okay, so picture this. Echinacea is suddenly stuck inside this wild fracture zone full of nasty monsters, and the first person she runs into is Senior Greyhall. He's all shocked, going, Eat Echinacea Roaz, and she just casually hits him with, Hello, Senior Greyhall, like this is a normal Tuesday. He's immediately like, Why are you here? Could you step aside for a moment? Oh, sorry. Then he straight up asks, Why are you inside this place? It's not for someone like you. The audacity, right? She's a delicate noble in his eyes still. Get this. She explains she got teleported by accident. Senior Grahal came up with her, but she has no clue where he is now. He mutters, That bastard. He can get out if I call. Then just goes, Okay. Classic messy senior energy. He tells her, Forget him, we don't have time to look. You should wait here for now. Then he heads for the door like he's about to handle everything alone. Oh, honey, no, this fracture is not the place for solo heroics. Outside, it's pure chaos, shadows and red Kool-Aid vibes with creatures going at it. These things are eating each other, and he's been watching the whole time. As long as the entrance doesn't keep expanding, the density isn't too dangerous, he says. She asks, What about you, Senior? And he goes, I'm going to look for some food in the store barracks. I heard if we can hold out until the fracture fixes, we'll escape. But since we came in without a pass, it's more complicated. Keep that in your back pocket. This fracture lore is about to matter. She's thinking is our best bet once we've cleared the inside and waited for it to stabilize. But now it's different, and I cannot stress this enough. She cannot leave the cursed sword out in front of him. Her hand can't last forever just hiding it. He notices something's off and goes, Don't worry, you look, then promises we're going to make it out of here alive. If you're anxious, trust me, I can at least take care of a small junior like you. These two are already getting soft with each other. She stiffens a bit under his hand, thinking he must be really nervous, but even so, he's trying to comfort me. She whispers, Thank you, and he brushes it off like it's nothing. A senior protecting a junior is only natural. I loved this quiet little moment. All right, he says, let's go find something useful. But now that I think about it, she flashes back to escaping the fracture using the book, how she once investigated how to escape it again. And when the closing was imminent, she decided to come herself. Yeah, that knowledge from her past life is kicking in. She starts spilling the theory. They say fractures have a starting point when the dark blood starts rising. She created a method to find that out, and that book claimed the starting point is where it's still connected to the world. Fractures eventually become their own worlds over time, which means they're not completely cut off. It was the beginning as a self-sustaining empty space. Then the starting point should be the first place to heal. He asks, Did you happen to see the fracture form? And she goes, Yes, exactly. The issue is how to find it. Tell me you're not already hooked on this escape plan. She thinks it started in the air at the center of the camp, already sealed off. Then the odds are high it's nearby. Let's check the center. He agrees. Good idea. Even if we're just waiting, the fracture will probably open from there first. If we get out of here, you'll be in charge of you, he adds with that soft look. There's this charged little moment where he slips and calls her Eki, then, oh, whoops, sorry. She looks at him strange, not junior at all. Your eyes are... I've saved. Can we really make it out of our lives? He asks, and she goes, Yes, aren't you afraid? These two are going to be a whole thing, trust me. She says, You said you'd protect me, right, Senior? I'll trust you and stay calm. So you trust me too. He looks at her all intense, then they both go, Let's get out of here together. Yeah, let's get out of here together, Echinacea. Pure soft chaos. But of course, the universe says nope, monsters come swarming in with that red Kool-Aid energy. Looks like it won't be easy to get through. He suddenly lights up with, I have an idea, huh? And starts channeling this blue glow. What are you planning to do with that? He panics. Wait, Eki, he shouts as she draws that glowing white sword, ready to go full send. She's about to pull some cursed sword magic to blast their way out, and I cannot stress this enough. This is the moment everything could flip. Next chapter, oh, it's about to get so much messier with whatever she unleashes. Okay, so last time everything went sideways with that fracture, and now Urin is just standing there in the wreckage looking absolutely wrecked. His second in command is like, Captain, what just happened? Where is Echinacea Roaz? And get this, Urin's face is pure ice when he answers that she seems to have been swallowed by the fracture. They admit they never found a way to reopen those separated fracture rifts, so all they can do is wait until the whole mess eventually seals itself. 9 years of waiting until he became a captain, and the mercenary he once knew has been gone that long. But here's the thing, the Uren we know now, he never looked this soft before. Flashback Uren was calm and cold, never a hint of emotion. But now, he's about to fall apart, and I cannot stress this enough. The way he whispers Echinacea Roaz. What does that face mean to the captain? Keep that in your back pocket, because these two are going to be a whole thing. Cut to inside the fracture, and oh honey, Echinacea is already in pure chaos mode. Some random guy is like, what are you trying to do with that? She just punches the ground, sets a whole patch on fire, and casually explains that most monsters associate fire with humans, so it works as a guide. The audacity of this girl. She tells him she learned this while gathering guides as a mercenary, and the knights from her household used to do the same. Then boom, a giant red Kool-Aid monster shows up roaring, and she is not playing around. Flames everywhere, she is pure action hero energy right now. She takes the monster out in a blaze of glory, then freezes mid-victory because something is weird in the sky. That looks strange. Could that be the starting point of the fracture? They have to just stand by. They can't do anything. But how do they even reach it? It looks at least 2 stories high. Echinacea is like, I can't use mana in front of him. Eat, clean up here. And then she just launches herself skyward with pure force. She grabs a massive blue flagpole mid-air like it's nothing, and the guy on the ground is just staring like, Senior? From up here, you should barely be able to reach. She's hanging on for dear life. I'm heavy. Will you be okay? Don't worry like this much. He flexes those muscles and goes, you really look like it. I knew it. Eat well those muscles. Then he leaves it to her and she's like, then I'll leave it to you. Hup, and she is off. She vaults over the edge, lands hard, and immediately spots the monster. Good, looks like they didn't notice. Senior, this should be close enough. Be careful, don't use your mana, test it with your sword first. Can we really escape through such a tiny gap? Got it, and she is already moving. She draws her sword in a flash of purple light, and the monsters finally notice. The monsters! She is pure elegance and danger, spinning through the air. He yells for her to jump down, and she does, landing in a blaze of pink hair and black lace. These two are already in perfect sync. Tell me you're not already hooked. They're running full tilt. Senior, I think this is... Just run for now. She glances back and can tell there are hundreds of them. Senior, put me down. I'm faster than you. It's okay if we just hide. At this rate, they'll catch up. I'm counting on you, Echinacea. She leaps free, he goes flying, and she is already mid-air swinging. Damn, you're heavy. You've always carried me on all missions. I'm heading for the edge of the fracture. Fractures look like they go on forever, but they can only exist in the portions separated from the real world. You had one hell of a time back then. Just as I thought, I can't go any farther here. This spot should be safe for him. Looks like every monster in the fracture is heading this way. This outfit's too flashy for a fight like this. She rips the outer layer off mid-run, pure boss girl energy, and then she is ready. Gonna borrow this for a bit, Senior. She snatches a massive sword, and the monsters are closing in hard. Ugh, there's so many of them. Let's go, Bardagosa. And I loved it, the way she stands there in that black dress, pink hair flying, sword ready, pure main character moment. She is about to face an entire army of fracture monsters alone with nothing but a borrowed blade and that cursed sword whispering in her ear. Next chapter? Oh, it is about to get so much messier. You are not ready. Okay, so Echinacea is mid-exam and the cursed sword is basically throwing a tantrum. Purple energy everywhere and she is not having it. She snaps that she has been going easy on this thing, and now she is done playing nice. Get this, she straight up asks the sword if she can use her whole body now, and the blade is like, wait, you mean more than just the left arm? The audacity of this weapon. She grins and goes, all right then, and I cannot stress this enough. She is about to go full beast mode. You know how everyone still thinks she is some delicate flower? Yeah, keep that in your back pocket because she unleashes this massive dark slash and the whole battlefield lights up red. The sword is screaming, go wild as you please, and she looks absolutely unhinged in the best way. Oh honey, the monsters do not stand a chance. She is carving through them like it is nothing, red Kool-Aid flying, and one of those big shadowy beasts is just laughing maniacally like this is the funniest thing ever. These two are going to be a whole thing, trust me. Here is the thing, she is not just swinging wildly. The sword is coaching her, telling her to hit the one that looks like a human. That one will not take it. She is leaping, spinning, and the impact is pure chaos. And I loved it. She is mid-air, pink hair whipping, and she is just dismantling these things while the sword is hyping her up like a chaotic cheerleader. Force specialization in slaughter? Yeah, that is her brand now. Okay, so the magic sword is a blade specialized in body control. And get this, it has been converting all that taking out intent into pure mana. She is dancing around these multi-eyed nightmares like it is a stage performance. You know how she used to only use her left arm? Thanks to time, she can now control the whole body, and she is going full berserk on these monsters. One of them is just a giant multi-eyed horror, and she is not even flinching. She is wondering if this is all just her imagination or if that fairy was real, and then she snaps back because these things only aim for the head. Classic. She is fighting like someone who has already lived through the worst. The sword is like, and first ball, go wild, and she is just vibing with it. Meanwhile, some other guy is watching from the sidelines going, wait, where is she? And I am already hooked on how messy this is about to get. Oh, and that guy, he is calling out, answer if you are there, and then he spots her mid-slash. The sword is glowing purple, she is mid-combo, and he is just standing there like, what the actual? She finishes the last of them. The magic sword, Barter Gaosa, is basically purring, and she is like, is this the last of them? The sword is already planning the next round, telling her not to say crazy things. Then she turns and freezes. There is a guy standing there, and the sword is like, he is already awake, you know? She is staring, what? And he is just looking back like he has seen a ghost. She is panicking internally. Where did he come from? And the sword is whispering that if he recognized the magic sword, it is game over for their little secret. She is thinking about the commander, Yu Ren, and how this could ruin everything. He is looking at her, she is looking at him, and the air is thick with that oh no energy. She is already calculating how to play this off because if he saw what that sword can do, her whole second chance is in danger. And then she just blurts it. Did you see? And the way he is staring? Yeah, that person just became a problem. Tell me you are not already hooked because next chapter this secret is about to explode. Okay, so remember that snarky, cursed sword Echinacea's been hiding this whole time? Well, chapter 26 kicks off with Yuren staring straight at it, glowing all ominous and red, and he just freezes. He's like, no way, that can't be. But get this, it totally is the demon sword Barbatos, and even he can see it with his own eyes. Cut to the two of them standing there under that dramatic sunset, swords out, and Echinacea's just casually asking, did you see it? Oh honey, the audacity. Yuren's face is pure shock because yeah, he saw every last cursed inch of it. He goes, you mean the demon sword Barbatos? And she's just standing there with it like it's no big deal. You know how everyone underestimates her as this delicate noble? Yeah, that sword is the opposite of delicate, and now Yuren knows her biggest secret. She's all, this is insane. Sorry. And Yuren's like, why are you apologizing? Then he puts it together. So you're Grisha's owner? You're its master? She just nods yes. And to be precise, she's beyond the level of a master. Keep that in your back pocket because this sword is tied to everything. Echinacea's thinking, what should I do now? And then she spills the tea. She entered the rift to save her master and ended up taking out the one who tried to end her. I loved it because she's not playing around in this second life. But now she can't just get rid of the sword. If she were the type whose weakness fell people, she wouldn't have become a knight in the first place. And even if he goes around spreading rumors, she still doesn't want to fight him. She wants to use him and become a knight, just like Alice. Tell me you're not already hooked on how messy this is. She looks up all soft and goes, Senior, I don't want to take you out, but if you don't keep the fact that I'm Grisha's owner a secret, then it'll be game over for you. The audacity of this girl threatening the commander while looking that cute. She pleads, please keep it a secret. This is an order, not a request. Yuren just hums, then hits her with the real question. First, how are you still alive when you have a demon sword? Because those things usually control their masters, right? She can't fully answer that, but as long as she doesn't lose her mind, she can master her sense of self, so don't worry. Then he asks why she joined the Azure Sky Knights, and she drops that she's trying to change the demon's sword. All she needs is another sword that's stronger at this point. He presses, if you obtain another one, you can discard the demon sword? You're a master. You could become a knight already. Get out of it right now if you want. But she shuts that down hard. I won't. Your old master would look suspicious. She planned to show gradual improvement and officially become a master around 23, because she became one because of the demon sword and can't reveal that. Yuren just stares and goes, "You lie so smoothly." Then he covers his face with this huge sigh. Ha. One last question. Why did you enter the rift? And you can tell these two are gonna be a whole thing because he's not letting her off easy. She's all vague, it just kind of happened. But he calls her bluff. Don't give me that. I just saw you get swallowed by accident. You went in on purpose. You went in because of me, didn't you? Because I got sucked into the rift, right? You were confident you could survive inside, so you went to save me. She's flustered. No, I said it was an accident. I tripped. You think masters don't make mistakes? But her eyes are doing that whole soft purple thing, and Uren's just smirking because he knows. Oh, honey, no, you're not fooling him. And then, the audacity, he just attacks her out of nowhere. Swords clashing, dust flying, he's testing if she's really going to risk her only life for this secret. She's blocking every hit like it's nothing, and I cannot stress this enough, she is not the delicate flower everyone thinks. He stops and goes, "Are you really going to risk your only life to test that?" Then softens completely. "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. You say no, but either way, you saved my life. Do I look like the kind of guy who wouldn't protect the secret of the one who saved him? I won't say a word, not even to Yuria." She's thinking, can I really trust him? But then she smiles and goes, "Of course, I believe you, senior. Sorry about the wound on your neck." He's all, "Don't worry, it's just a scratch. Honestly, there's more I want to ask, but I'll save it for later. What are you going to do now? First, let's go back to the starting point. There's something I want to try out." As they head back, Uren's internal monologue is pure chaos. To think I'd end up being protected by the junior I tried to protect, how pathetic. And even got threatened with lights out. But strangely, it doesn't feel bad. In fact, I think I've totally fallen for her. Now that we've shared a secret, it's a bond that can't be many ways. These two are going to be a whole thing, trust me. But wait, Echinacea suddenly calls out, "Master, master." The sword's like, "What?" And she goes, "I think I might know why the rift suddenly appeared. Actually, my previous master saw rifts often too. That person also came from the same era as you. If that's the case, maybe the rifts are related to the chaos organ? Oh, this comes back later, trust me, because next chapter, the sword's about to spill everything. Okay, so Echinacea is still stuck in that nightmare space with her cursed sword, and she is staring at this glowing thing going, "Wait, could this be?" Because get this, she is connecting the dots that this whole mess might be related to Kairos Gyosa. The sword is being so dramatic about it, basically monologuing that Anahidosa and Kairos Gyosa are both divine artifacts, and for example, if Anahidosa is a collapsible decoration crafted by Kairos Gyosa, yeah, that person. Keep that in your back pocket. Echinacea is like, "Wait, I don't know much about divine artifacts, but..." And the sword cuts her off with the T, "Because you are the one who made me this way. The more things it offers, the more its owner shifts, right? What was it like with the previous owner?" That one was different. They didn't care about the gifts. They just wanted to abandon the sword. And I cannot stress this enough. Echinacea goes, "Thank it." That is exactly what I wanted to hear. She is so done with this snarky blade. Cut to the real world, red sunset, and Uren is just standing there like, "Well, what are you planning to do here?" Echinacea is all business. "I'm going to try and sever the starting point again. The monsters you led them to, they're dangerous, but even that will be effective." She explains the monsters were the gift in a type of abnormal phenomenon that the gift itself creates. They aren't real. When I stabbed the focal point, seeing how all the monsters focused on it, I think that really is the battle's weak point. Besides, this is a space created by a Gyosa. So if I try stabbing it with another Gyosa, maybe something? And then she just goes for it. Against what? Uren is right there like, "What's wrong? Are you hurt somewhere?" And then boom, she sees it. A mirror, since you have a mirror in your body? Uren is completely lost. What? A mirror? A mirror? And Echinacea is freaking out because if I do get past this, everyone will see me in this state. The audacity of this situation. She is covered in red Kool-Aid and looking rough, and she is not about that life. What am I going to do if someone is outside? A person that I shared my meal with? Try opening the door in my place, sir, and thank you. I knew it would be like this. What if someone is standing right outside? Oh, honey, no, she is spiraling. There's a button you can press with in that tent over there. Senpai, by any chance, could I also borrow some clothes? My clothes. And Uren, being the absolute gentleman, is just like, "Oh, there's a tent nearby. There must be a spare set of clothes there. That should work. Thank you, senior." I'll just borrow a little, 1 second. And then she steps out looking fresh, and Yuren is like, are you ready? Yes, I don't look strange anymore, do I? Oh, you're pretty. No, I mean, you look perfectly fine. What a relief. These two are gonna be a whole thing, I swear. Oh, before we go out, I think we should get our story straight. How so? It will be hard to be truthful, so let's tell the truth about the other things, and just connect it by saying the monsters that appeared were only at the level of ghouls. That way, no one will be suspicious. Let's say the two of us handled the monsters and held out until the army disappeared. By the way, didn't you say you came in with 4? Alright, well, do as you say. It's better that way if we're to hide the fact that you're a Geosa user. Seeing how quiet it's been, maybe he was took out by the monsters? Well, everything are so chaotic, that bastard, if he has changed, but I, imagining him, let him off easy. We're going to the starting point now, right? Then I'll hold the pole. No, you don't have to hold it for me. And then she just launches. The energy is wild. She is flying straight at that red crack in the sky, sword out, and the impacts are insane. Slash after slash, pink energy everywhere, and she is giving it everything. Did it work? I have a good feeling. I think it's going to work. And then the whole space just shatters. I can see the sky. We are really back. And then she turns and freezes. Commander? Because standing right there in the soft light is Urine, white hair glowing, looking at her with this expression that stops her cold. He is looking at her like, as if you love me. Wait, are you looking at me with that kind of expression? You don't know that I am that devil, do you? Let my guard down, otherwise it makes no sense. Who is that expression for? Or are you trying to test me by making me, the emotion you're showing me right now, is it real? Okay, so after all that chaos with the monsters, Echinacea is just standing there staring at Urine like her brain short-circuited. She's thinking, the emotion you're showing me right now, is it real? Because girl has been burned before and she is not ready for the soft side of the commander. Urine's got her in this gentle hug under the bright sky, and he goes, are you trying to make me lower my guard to see if I'm a servant? The absolute audacity of this man to tease her while she's having a full-on crisis. Keep that in your back pocket. These two are gonna be a whole thing. Then he softens and says, you remember, do you not, the day I brought you to ruin? And Echinacea just freezes. Oh, honey. She pulls back hard, sword half drawn, and snaps. Please step back. The panic is real. Urine just stands there looking devastated, saying he's been rude to her, and she immediately backpedals. I was worried. No, I was relieved. I'm sorry for scolding you so suddenly. She's a mess of apologies while he looks like someone kicked his puppy. Cue Senior Brian bursting in like, are you hurt anywhere? And Echinacea's all, no, it's all right. I was just a little surprised. Meanwhile, Urine is still processing in the background like a kicked puppy. Then more knights show up and it's pure chaos. Brian's going full protective mode, asking if she's safe, and she confirms yes, there were many monsters, but thanks to Cadet Romessa, she was able to escape. He praises her contribution hard, saying it was as if she protected him. Look at her getting the respect she deserves. Urine finally snaps out of it and just goes, Brian, you are safe as well. Then he turns to leave, all cool and distant again, and Brian's like, you're pushing too much, senior. The monsters were not a big deal. Once again, welcome back. You've worked hard. These two have history, trust me. Echinacea tries to thank them both for returning alive and well from the rift, but Urine just walks off without a word. She calls after him, senior, and he freezes. Then she drops the bomb. You said you'd keep it a secret. What am I supposed to say if they ask? And he just goes, what? Brian's right there hearing everything, and he's like, but it's the truth. Take this chance to say you two managed after such a hard path crisis. Easy for you to say, Brian. Meanwhile, Uren's over there going, I heard you just now. The second-hand embarrassment is taking out me. Time skip. May 15th, and the Azure Sky Knights have conquered the outbreak of monsters. One cadet tried, but besides that, everything's fine. Trees, wine, and flowers. For a first being stationed, the damage was very minimal. Suspicious rumors about regarding the diseased cadet. Yeah, that's gonna come back later. 2 days later, May 17th, and we're back at the gorgeous Squire Academy. Echinacea is sprawled on her bed looking like absolute the end warmed over. Tomorrow is the official Squire appointment day, and my body is in this state. I should have just stayed home with Mama. Understatement of the century. Her maid Alice is fretting hard, going, Iki, should we not call a doctor? And Echinacea's like, why call a doctor? I'm fine. What do you mean, fine? Your fever is so high. Alice, you should go out and train. The overall ranking tournament isn't far off. girl is stubborn as a mule. Alice is not having it. Having you here, Alice, is distracting me so I can't sleep. It starts the reason. Thank you, Alice. I understand. Please be sure to tell me if you need anything. Then she leaves, and Echinacea is left alone with a telegram from Nicola Nim. Oh, this is juicy. She's reading the letter when Cadet Romessa barges in like, Cadet Romessa, I heard you were sick. Are you okay? Echinacea's all, this voices, and Romessa's apologizing for coming uninvited because her senior asked where she was. I told you to go train, but you went to the kitchen and brought that. Romessa made her medicinal herb tea preserved in honey, and she's being so sweet about it. You didn't have to, thank you. I'm trying to score points, so let me hardly give up on you yet. You're really persistent. Even when you're resting, you still need to eat. I asked the kitchen to make it, so please eat. Echinacea finally drinks the tea and it's actually good. Don't worry, I'll go train after you're better, Eki. If you're uncomfortable, just say so and I'll leave without a word. Good grief. Then she takes another sip and goes, well, it's not bad. I'm particularly uncomfortable. Thank you for your concern. Then Alice comes back and drops the real tea. Looks like they've made up in the meantime. They get along well. I learned some huge news on my way here. What is it? I'll tell you if you join our club in return. This stem is delicious, Alice. Is it? I'm glad. You promised that when you two became friends, you'd join the club together. Echinacea's like, I don't think I ever agreed to that. What's so bad about joining a club? I haven't thought about it yet. The clubs these days are, how should I put it, too political. I just find group activities bothersome. I don't want to be tied down. But Alice and Romisa are not letting this go. Alice goes full sales mode. For you two, this wisdom is absolutely perfect. Perfect. What exactly is so perfect about it? Because I'm the first president of Wisdom, and there are currently no other club members. So our club is neither political nor crowded. Echinacea just stares like, what? Oh, I loved it. Tell me you're not already hooked for the next chapter, because this club situation is about to get wild. Okay, so Echinacea is still stuck at this stuffy Noble Club meeting, and the girls are all chirping about how their little group will meet once a week to study together. Anyone who wants to meet more often can just arrange it themselves. Super casual, right? Then this one girl with the dark hair goes, is that all? She doesn't plan on hanging more than 2 hours, and she thinks amount 8 is perfect. Echinacea is just sitting there like, I didn't really want to force anyone to think. It's much more relaxed than I thought. Get this, the dark-haired girl admits she only joined because she likes how Fatima doesn't care about the strange rumors. Echinacea softens and thinks, it would also be much more natural if I joined my school activities, because of, well, you know. And then the blonde girl just blurts out that she's joining too. The dark-haired one lights up like a firework. Wow, finally, thank you so much, and she goes full dramatic bow. The blonde is all, of course, come on, read it quickly and done. You've been drafting that invitation letter with me. They seal the deal with the letter, and Echinacea is just watching this whole wholesome mess go down. Oh, right, this is what she was going to say earlier. On May 5th, the day of the summer festival, there's a student representative election. That's only natural. The position is vacant. The girls keep chatting, and one of them drops the bomb. Commander Urin is getting married soon. Don't be surprised, his fiancée is apparently coming to Astaka soon too. Echinacea freezes mid-sip like the universe just blue-screened. That is surprising news. Where is his fiancée said to be around? If she's Commander Urin's fiancée, she must be the daughter of a very high family, right? What was it again? Do you mean Lady Dilleson? Yes, that's it. The girls are still gossiping when Echinacea stands up, face pale, and just leaves. Alice and Fatima notice she's a little pale and ask if she needs rest. She forces a smile, says she'll be back around evening, don't worry, and thanks them both. Then she books it out of there. Back in her room, she collapses into the chair, hair everywhere, and the memories slam into her. Before Uren turned back then, there were no engagement or marriage mentions he made. There wasn't even a single common scandal. Then why? She's spiraling hard. No, I'm trying to change things that happened in the past, and there will be anything now. First, the things that happened in the past, and she starts digging through the old records like her life depends on it. Flashback City, demonic beasts, nights falling, red Kool-Aid everywhere, the whole tragic mess from her first life. She reads about the crown princess, the missing duchess, the palace incident where the duchess was found after the order was butchered. It was an unfortunate and terrible accident. And then she finds it, the name, Yuren Day. These were the palace incidents low remaining up to the first Yuren era. What on earth could have caused an event like Yuren's engagement? She just can't figure it out, unless someone like me and Yuren who never meant to be involved in the first place. Even if Yuren chooses someone of his own will, I don't have any right. But a single memory by a person who only remembered the erased past. For instance, maybe he loved someone but couldn't confess in the end and regretted it as he left. She's spiraling so hard she starts seeing the old Yuren again. The soft smile, the way he looked at her. The expression you showed me that time, what was it? The bright smile, the way you carefully looked over me, and those eyes that looked genuinely relieved? Was all of that just an act? Of course, what emotion that person showed weren't genuine. Don't tell me you actually believed it was real. Yuren will remember, and the sensation of it piercing through his body, and it's the same for you. What on earth was I hoping for? Did I really think I had a future with him? She's drowning in that dark spiral when suddenly, footsteps. A calm voice cuts through. Cadet Echinacea. She looks up, and standing there in full uniform is Yuren himself, all cool and composed. She freezes. Greetings, Commander. Oh, honey, the timing. Next chapter is about to get so much messier, trust me. Okay, so get this. After everything Echinacea has been through, Chapter 30 opens with her official squire ceremony, and she is serving absolute looks in this deep red gown and hat, standing alone in that massive, glittering hall like she owns the place. Yuren walks in looking every bit the white-haired prodigy commander, and the air is already thick. Yuren takes one look at her and goes all soft and worried. I had hoped you wouldn't push yourself. She fires right back that the appointment ceremony could have been postponed, but nope, they're doing this now. These two are already so messy about it. The priest starts the vows, and I cannot stress this enough how formal this gets. The squire shall always follow the Lord with loyalty, and the Lord must guide them with boundless teaching and responsibility. Keep that in your back pocket because this bond is about to get real. Meanwhile, Echinacea is having a full internal spiral because he noticed her physical condition just by looking at her for a moment. The audacity. She's standing there like, how does this man see straight through me every single time? Then the priest turns to her. Squire Echinacea Roll, will you follow your lord with unquestioning faith and master the virtues of a knight? She's all in, no hesitation, because this second life is hers to rewrite. And to Yuren, Knight Yuren de Hayden Corre, will you give yourself and do your utmost to guide this squire onto the path of a knight? He looks at her and just says, yes, simple, devastating. With that, the priest declares Echinacea Roll has become the squire of Knight Yuren. This oath shall remain in effect for eternity, until one of them is no more or there's a betrayal. Yeah, that kind of forever. They sign the actual pledge, and she's thinking about how a knight's vow naturally falls, but in other words, the bond is eternal even if dissolved by birth or lights out, until one of them passes down their sword. Heavy paper, heavier promise. Ceremony done, she calls him commander, and he corrects her all gentle, no, I suppose I must call you lord now. Then she just drops the bomb with zero warning. I heard you're getting engaged. Congratulations. Yuren goes completely silent. She starts to take her leave, but he stops her with a quiet, you, and she reminds him, you said you wanted to become a knight to find happiness. Yes, I do. He presses her hard. Does that happiness mean a peaceful life? She's thrown. Pardon? And then he hits her with, if there is something you truly desire, are you prepared to sacrifice it for it? Oh honey, no, this is getting personal. She shuts it down immediately. I will not choose to sacrifice my own peace. He clarifies, you asked if my happiness means a peaceful life. Yes, it does. Then he drops his own truth bomb. My happiness is living peacefully with the people precious to me. A choice that would harm that, I will never make it. Echinacea doubles down even if I have to give up what I desire. Yuren just looks at her and says, I understand, Echinacea. He tells her, go back and rest for today. Your duties as a squire will begin tomorrow. If you need more rest, you can tell me anytime. She thanks him, Lord, and walks away. Okay, but then we smash cut to Yuren meeting this red-haired highness who greets him all silky. It has been a while, your highness, Prince Yuren. Have you been well? He immediately corrects her. My nationality is Kishar, not noble. The tension is already delicious. She asks if he remembers her, and he does, from her sister's wedding against the crown prince. She laughs that she never imagined they would meet again over an engagement. Yuren is like, this is the first I'm hearing that you are my fiance. She's casual, I'm not yet, but the ceremony is soon, so it doesn't matter. Then she gets sharp. Now what will you do, Sir Urin? Will you declare it an engagement you never agreed to and draw your sword against your own blood? He says, I understand. It is not an easy decision. I need time. And she admits she'd rather he be the one to refuse. But if he does, she will be sure to collect her due. He dismisses her coldly. Leave us, my lady. And once she's gone, he stands alone, clenching his fist. He whispers Echinaceia's words back to himself. I will not choose to sacrifice for my own peace. I know which choice is better. And yet my heart is impossible to control. Just give me a little more time until I can give up. Before I go completely mad, I will make a decision. Tell me you're not already hooked for the next chapter because this engagement is about to explode. Okay, so Echinacea is finally meeting Alice Winterbell face to face, and Alice is all elegant and composed while our girl is just standing there like, wait, are you family? Alice softens right up and goes, yes, she's like family to me. It's a pleasure to meet you. Then Alice introduces herself properly, Nicole Siston, and Echinacea is just processing the whole thing. Alice thanks her for coming, and Echinacea is still stuck on that probably Alice muttered earlier. What do you mean by probably? The audacity of being vague right now. Alice drops the truth bomb. Honestly, I have quite worried, but seeing that you've even made a friend, you seem to be doing well. Echinacea freezes. You say that as if I've never had a single friend before. Oh, honey. Alice just sips her tea like she didn't just call her out. Echinacea tries to change the subject to the demon jargon, but Alice is already onto her. Don't worry, Nicole. By the way, I saw the telegram. It said you came as an escort, and Echinacea is just sitting there like, put it, Bill, no one found out, right? Girl is panicking. Alice confirms the rumor already spread that Lady Dasant volunteered as a mage for the Mage Tower request. But I don't volunteer just to come see you. Then she drops, before that, first, and suddenly the room is lighting up with pure magic. Get this, Alice casts a full-on soundproofing spell so no sound leaks out. Blue magic circles everywhere, the whole room sealed. Echinacea's eyes go wide. Nicole, this is... And Alice is just standing there like this is a Tuesday for her. I loved it. Alice sits back down, all serious, and goes, I'm about to tell you something important. Are these things you found out while tracking the demon jargon's origins? Yes. You said you heard the news about Commander Urin and Lady Dasant's engagement, right? Their engagement must happen. Echinacea is shook. What? Alice explains, because it's safer for the royal family that way. There are people trying to stop this engagement, even if it means taking out the lady. That's why I deliberately volunteered for the escort duty. Don't worry, I will explain it all slowly. Okay, so Alice starts the Imperial family deep dive. First, His Highness the Crown Prince, and since Commander Urin is the third prince, there must be a second prince, right? Echinacea is just sitting there going, what is the Crown Prince's name? Cruden de Hayden Corre? Correct. Then do you know what the Crown Prince's specialty is? I'm not sure. What is the second prince's name? I don't know, Alice sighs. It's like this for everyone. The impression people have of the other direct Imperial family members is faint. But everyone knows about the third prince, Commander Urin. And here's the thing, they show Uren in all his glory, the master of mana and his sword looking on top of the world. He has far too many talents that draw people's attention. The problem is that he shines so brightly that the other princes are being overshadowed. That's not a very good situation, is it? But he's the third prince. If he were the crown prince, it would not be a problem at all. Your nationality changes when you join the Azure Sky Knights, right? Strictly speaking, you're no longer a member of the Imperial family. Do you think the people of the Empire consider him a foreigner? Even if his nationality changes to Astaka, he is an Imperial family member to the end. As long as he lives, he still contains the blood of the Empire and the Hayden of the Imperial House. So what does that have to do with the royal family, right? The current emperor had two empresses. You know, the first empress, who was a commoner, passed on early as crown prince, and of her blood and body, the first prince and second prince were born. You also know that the first empress was no more due to illness. The second empress, who was from the imperial family, was the mother of the third prince. Then, what if you imagine that they had a relationship even before she became the first empress? And also, what if you imagine that the first prince and second prince, no, the third prince? Alice leans in. Now, think about it, Nick. about the third prince, the empress he loved so dearly past giving birth to that child, and his majesty had no need for any more sons. How do you think his majesty the emperor feels? Echinacea is just staring, completely locked in. I don't know the detailed circumstances within the imperial palace, but it's certain His Majesty does not like Commander Yuren. No, I'm sure he practically despises him, even though he's the son of the wife he loved. Yes, as if the child who was born destroyed that beloved wife. And just like that, Alice has laid out the entire messy imperial family drama. Rose petals falling around a tragic past, and Echinacea is sitting there realizing just how deep this engagement plot goes. Keep that in your back pocket, because next chapter, this whole royal mess is about to get even messier. Okay, so chapter 32 opens with Echinacea getting the absolute tea on imperial family drama, and I cannot stress this enough. It is messy. She's sitting there with this red-haired woman while the cursed sword just floats like it owns the place, and the story starts with some prince who basically took everything from the woman he loved. Harsh doesn't even cover it. Anyway, the red-haired lady is laying out the imperial line of succession like it's the juiciest gossip. And get this, right now there's a full-on bloody competition for the throne. Chess pieces everywhere, because of course the empire runs on power plays and pawns. So the second prince is rising hard through pure power, but the current emperor is still playing favorites with the first prince. And the girl who was supposed to protect that first prince, yeah, she becomes the next piece on the board. Keep that in your back pocket. But here's the thing. The prince the Imperial Stone truly prizes, Commander Yuren, Echinacea's eyes go wide because from the other prince's perspective, Yuren is the common enemy they all want gone. The audacity of this whole family. Echinacea's sitting there realizing in her past life she knew nothing about any of these behind-the-scenes schemes. She even wonders out loud what happened to the Emperor before she turned back time. Commander Yuren is in such a difficult position, and being too talented, total curse. So Yuren chose the Azure Sky Knights young because he did not want to get caught up in the fighting, to the point that whenever anyone learned about the cursed sword's identity, he just kept rising. Oh honey, the Emperor and the other princes must be seething watching him shine. Especially since they cast him out because they didn't want to see him succeed, and then he grew up so brilliantly anyway. The red-haired woman is shook. She had no idea. And Yuren, always a noble and shining person, even with all that misfortune hanging over him. They used the excuse of his outstanding talent to ship him off because they couldn't just take out an innocent prince. Echinacea's processing all this while the cursed sword glows, and she thought the Empire's full power could just get rid of it. Spoiler, not that simple. That's enough background. The red-haired lady says, let's get to the main point. Why did the cursed sword head straight for House Roaz? Echinacea's like, have you heard the rumor? And the answer is no, because there's no one she can trust in the capital. Besides, even if they find out, they're not someone you can just do anything about. Echinacea freezes. Don't tell me, is the imperial family behind this? The red-haired woman adjusts her glass and goes, there are 3 likely candidates. His Majesty the Emperor, the second prince's faction, and the crown prince's faction. Or get this, it's also possible all 3 were in it together. Shared interest was a conspiracy targeting Commander Yuren from the start, and Roaz got caught right in the middle of it. Unfortunately, yes. Tell me in detail, Echinacea demands. They don't know how the imperial family got their hands on the cursed sword, but it's clear they intended to use it, using Roaz as the sacrifice so a victim would appear from that family. The mastermind who knew in advance was going to step in and take care of it. They even took care of the cursed sword that the Azure Sky Knights were dealing with, all for the sake of that stupid political game. Echinacea is furious. You're saying they used our family as a sacrifice? Why did it have to be us? Because they were an easy and suitable target. No connections in the political world, no special wealth or power, but they had someone with talent in swordsmanship. Perfect conditions so the cursed sword wouldn't become overly powerful. And for that, that was enough? Echinacea's spiraling, but I don't know why I had to be next. There were a few others, the red-haired woman says. Then Echinacea drops it. It might be because of me. Wait, why would you say that? Because she's the sage's disciple. If a family connected to her got marked, her master would take interest too. From their perspective, it was the perfect condition to make the situation worse. The magic tower gets involved, the whole truth could be revealed. Look at the situation now. Why would they take such a risk? Echinacea and the red-haired woman are just staring at each other like, You tricked them down and everyone caught their tail. So, Roaz being chosen, there must be another reason. Now the puzzle pieces are fitting together. The reason the sword received the stigma, formed its own purification squad, all a political game for power. The imperial family even used this situation. They could have been planning this all along, a division of power that would bind both Uren and Azuma. Then what about the Empire in this life? The show failed that time as well. Nothing happened and the cursed sword simply vanished. How did they react to this new variable? So, what does the engagement between Commander Uren and Lady Echinacea have to do with our family? That's because the ones who sent the cursed sword are suspicious of Roaz. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, these two are going to be a whole thing. Okay, so chapter 33 starts with Echinacea catching a conversation she was never meant to hear, and the second that red-haired woman opens her mouth, you just know this is about to ruin everything. She's all calm and formal, asking if the commander has anything else to discuss, then casually offers to take the empty crown prince seat like it's nothing. The audacity is already off the charts. Cut to the formal announcement, and boom, Uren and this red-haired lady are standing there like the perfect power couple while everyone talks about the engagement of the crown prince. Even if he means the lady, Echinacea's face just freezes. Keep that engagement news in your back pocket because it hits her like a truck. Echinacea is straight up spiraling. What? The engagement announcement? She's replaying every second and realizing she just wanted one quiet moment before all this. But nope, the crown prince's engagement is coming and that woman has to be stopped somehow. Oh, honey, the panic is real. Then the red-haired woman is out here yelling, "Why?" like she's the one being wronged. And Echinacea is just staring, thinking that woman must be the problem. She slips through a door under suspicion, heart racing, because this second life was supposed to be different. Flashback time, and it's messy. Uren holding her close, promising he wants to protect her no matter what. There's national stuff, chess pieces on a board, and the commander's name floating around like destiny itself is laughing. These two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. Blue magic explodes everywhere while someone warns that the end of that second path is right here. Souls won't be safe, and the red-haired woman is clutching her head, thinking he was supposed to be hers. Echinacea just mutters that this is the worst possible news she could have gotten. She walks through a door into pure night, and suddenly she's glowing with blue energy, whispering, "All of them." The red-haired woman is right there, snarling that she wants to cut them all down. The tension is thick enough to slice with a cursed sword. And then it gets dark. "I can do it," she says, eyes glowing the moment the sword is in her hands. A voice is screaming that if she can do it, why is she hesitating? Is it regret for them? Memories of happier days flash by, and you can feel her cracking. The sword, or whatever's whispering, is pure chaos. "Let's go take them out. You have to get revenge, Echinacea. Don't you want to see the red Kool-Aid of everyone who pushed you into suffering?" She's nodding yes, completely gone for a second, and I cannot stress this enough how scary that is. Silhouettes of people who wronged her, the urge to take out the witnesses too, and then she freezes with red eyes staring into nothing. She pours a glass of water with shaking hands and whispers, "I've lost my mind." Just now, she was thinking about making it game over for everyone. She realizes if she does that, it's a full-on massacre, and how is that any different from when she was the demon of the battlefield last time? The red silhouette with the sword is still there, but her master voice, probably the cursed sword, snaps that she can't become like that again. Oh honey, no. She forces herself to focus on the light, remember the past, and uproot those regrets before they swallow her. Green energy flares, she tells herself it's okay, just the curse acting up, and she has to start by facing the morning even if she hates looking at her own face. Later, under the moon, she wonders if any of this is really okay. Then crash, Uren is there with his sword on the ground, muttering about dark magic. He looks at her and says she's just like her master, and something that cannot be reached suddenly feels close enough to touch. Uren's internal monologue is pure longing, something he's wanted to hold for a long time. Even when he gets close, the distance stays. Echinacea is asking herself what she actually desires, if she can make it empty of regret, and why her heart feels so hollow every time she thinks of him. She's spiraling through old memories of a blonde figure and asking why she's empty. What if that person might love her? Sitting alone, she whispers that he might love her, that it's such a waste to throw the chance away, and if he loves her, does that mean she becomes happy? And then it hits her like the sweetest gut punch ever. Echinacea Roaz is to Uren de Hayden Kore. She looks up with those soft eyes and just says it. I love him. I love him. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, this confession is going to explode everything. Okay, so chapter 34 opens with pure chaos, and I cannot stress this enough. It is a nightmare. Flames everywhere, people screaming for mercy, and Echinacea is right in the middle of it all, looking like the world just ended around her. Get this, some poor guy is yelling for his mommy while the whole place is going up in fire. Then, boom, a massive explosion, and the narration hits you with that gut punch. Someone like you will fall to hell. And there she is, our girl Echinacea, on the ground covered in red Kool-Aid, looking completely broken. The even growing list of sins makes her despair so deep she can barely speak, and she is begging anyone, if there is a God, please save me. Here's the thing, in that absolute darkness, something answers, a voice cuts through, and she becomes an indelible mark upon its heart. The moment he gave it voice, yeah, that person. Keep that in your back pocket. Cut to the present, and oh honey, Echinacea is locked up behind bars looking rough. The guards are freaking out because she just spat, and Uren storms in demanding to know her condition. There are no major injuries, but she still won't eat. Uren is being so messy about it, telling them he'll watch her from afar and they may leave for a bit. The guards are like, goodness, Commander, what is he thinking? It's already been half a year since that monster was locked up. The audacity of this man. You know how Uren is, right? He shows up at her cell again and she just goes, you came again today. He admits he hasn't just watched from a distance and she says she's happier. These two are going to be a whole thing. I loved it. Okay, so then she drops the softest line ever. I'm cheering for you. Don't lose. Uren is standing there all soft-eyed and you can feel how much that means to him. It feels as if you're speaking those words to me, he thinks. And then the real gut punch. She looks up and says, my name is Echinacea Rose. My hair is black now, but it used to be pink. Flashbacks of her old life, the wedding, the flowers, everything she lost. I know your name, Uren whispers. She reaches for him, calling his name, and he says he really wanted to stay a few days. Thank you for waiting. Then she is smiling through tears, pink hair blazing, and she is vanishing over him with this huge light. I will win no matter what, so please don't leave. She wanted to show him that her choice was the right one. It was too late. You found me later. I was able to win because of you. To you. I want to show you my smiling face. Look, take it. This. What do you think? I hope I look pretty to you. And then we slam into the other side of this tragedy. A pink-haired guy named Kairos Giosa is standing there going, when will I be able to? Do you want to meet me too? Is that why you waited? I'm sorry, Uren. I will return everything to you. Your honor, your life, your wish, your comfort, everything that you lost. Send me back to the past where no one takes anyone out. I thought I might win. A heart does not simply disappear because you pretend not to know. How long is forever just because you do not declare it? Any status is no longer that which nothing can stop. So I just turned away, but what I want broken. Yes, I have always him, and then we cut hard to Nicole, who is having a full meltdown in the present day. Nicole is sobbing, saying she is sorry. She told him because she thought he was a brave person, but she doesn't know what to do. She can't put another burden into someone she cares for as well. Problems of soul are not cool. I'll take care of it, so stay. What's wrong with you? And then she just blurts it out. I think I'm in love with him, with someone I must never fall in love with. I can't even remember how I felt. I just really felt happy. Nicole must have been very worried. Get a grip. I can't be shaken anymore. All I have to do is, and then Eki is yelling, wait, and we see her in that gorgeous blue dress with some blonde guy. Tell me you're not already hooked, because whatever is about to go down next, it is about to get so much messier. Okay, so picture this. Echinacea is still processing everything when Uren just casually asks if she's heading to the club meeting. She's all, ow, like her brain is buffering, and you can tell she's got a whole storm of thoughts going on behind those pink locks. Uren clocks that she's been weird all day and gently checks in, like, do you still have something you're being shy about? And Echinacea tries to brush it off with, it's nothing, just a lot to think about. But girl, we know better. Then he hits her with the softest offer ever. If you ever need that kind of help, tell me anytime, because I'll be by your side. The way she freezes, absolute chaos in her head. Keep that promise in your back pocket, trust me. She's all, but why all of a sudden? And he just shrugs like, just because. Do you not like it? Then he's ushering her along because those people must be waiting for us. These two are gonna be a whole thing. I can feel it. Cut to the club grounds, and the peanut gallery is already gossiping. Oh, they're here. It really does look like she joined the club. To think she joined the bit, and Echinacea just deadpans that she can hear every single useless word. The audacity of these extras. They spot Senior Fatima, and Echinacea's like, we should join up with her quickly. Ah, there she is. Hey, Fatima. Meanwhile, this curly-haired Senior Breeze is already giving major side-eye energy. Oh, honey, no. Breeze storms in, waving application forms, and starts grilling Fatima. What do you mean it's not true? I knew you'd be here. Are you going to pretend you don't know why these names are written here? He's being so messy about it. He goes full classist villain monologue. All you little girls are the same, thinking others don't see through your tricks. How foolish. Then he waves the form and snaps that this kid was supposed to join our Noblest Club, so why is his application here? Fatima tries to stay calm, but Breeze is on a roll, accepting an application from a cadet who was supposed to join another club. Do you not know how troublesome that is? And when she pushes back, he loses it. How dare you talk back to a senior? Then he drops the absolute worst line. This is why we shouldn't have allowed commoners and barbarians to open a club. Prejudice doesn't work on you, am I right? Echinacea has officially hit her limit. I cannot stress this enough. She is done. She steps up, swinging that cursed sword energy, and just goes, huh? Apologize. Apologize for your insulting remarks to Senior Fatima, right now. And Breeze is like, who even are you? Bunch of brats who don't know their place. Uran's over here calmly saying for a senior to be respected, they must act like a senior, which only makes Breeze explode harder. What did you say? Cadet Alice tries to de-escalate, but Breeze is already frothing. What did you just say? Suddenly, this intense red-haired girl is right there, and Breeze freezes like he's seen a ghost. It's been a while, but you are still the same. I'm sure I told you to watch your mouth last time. It seems you have completely forgotten. You. Echinacea's half-drawn sword gets called out immediately. What are you going to do with your sword? Don't you remember you could be expelled if you draw it recklessly? And then someone gasps, have they fought before? Bryce, did you lose to a lady? The red-haired girl just smiles all sweet and lethal. Oh my, then would you like to have a proper match? I officially request a duel. If I win, you will get on your knees and apologize to Senior Fatima. The whole club is holding its breath. And then the mic drop, but still to the commander's squire, the squire of His Highness Ewan. Everyone's staring. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter this duel is about to get so much messier, and Ewan's name just got thrown into the fire. Okay, so you know how everyone keeps treating Echinacea like this delicate pink-haired noble who couldn't possibly hold a sword? Well, chapter 36 kicks off with her standing there in that gorgeous blue dress, face to face with a senior knight who's about to get his entire attitude adjusted. He's all stiff and superior, but she just smiles and says she needed to relieve some stress. Then he snaps, "You dare look down on me? Oh honey, no, she is so not the one to mess with." She fires right back, "If I refuse here, I'll lose face. What's with that tone to a senior?" Then boom, "I'll accept the duel. I'll fix your manners right here." He's already plotting to teach her how to treat superiors. The audacity. The other knights are watching like it's the best show in town. Do as you please. What about a witness? They pick one and go, fine. Let's begin right away. To the victor, mercy and tolerance. Yeah, keep that in your back pocket. They square up in the woods. He draws that big sword and charges, but look at her just standing there all poised. Ah, graceful. I loved it already. She's making this look like a garden stroll. Swords clash with all those whoosh sound effects. He's going full force, but then he freezes mid-swing. What? His face is pure shock because she just danced around him like it was nothing. She counters perfectly, he's tumbling, pink hair whipping as she moves. The precision is unreal, and I cannot stress this enough, she makes sword fighting look like a ballroom dance. He's yelling, "Erg, my eyes!" Completely thrown. The watchers can't believe what they just saw. He thrust with that speed and only grazed the hem of her dress. No, it started from the shoulder. If you start with only the wrist, the tip wavers. She's casually explaining technique while smiling with that sword like a total pro. He's screaming her name in pure panic. He's desperate now. This is swinging wildly, but she's spinning in that flowing blue dress, pure elegance mixed with absolute skill. These two are not even close to equals. She finishes with this gorgeous spin, and he realizes she cut exactly at the collar. Clean cut, not even a loose shirt. The crowd is losing their minds. Can she really control it like that? Even the watchers are whispering about how the returned senior was supposed to be a monster. But she's the real one here. She keeps pressing and he's barely blocking. His body's about to get sliced. He panics, thinking black magic, then finally cracks. I lost. She's standing over him all calm. Open your eyes, senior. It doesn't hurt one bit. You're just fine. The absolute queen energy. Will you admit defeat? He does immediately. So now put away the sword. The black-haired girl steps up like he promised. You must kneel and apologize to our club president. The messiness is peak. He's on his knees apologizing, but Alice and the blonde aren't letting him off easy. Don't try to diminish your wrongs as a mistake. But don't ever do that again, and don't pick fights with our club members. Well said. Then, out of nowhere, oh my Prince Urin. Cut to this red-haired lady wandering alone, and Urin shows up looking all concerned and breathless. Turns out she was planning to meet his junior Echinacea. He asks what she's doing wandering alone. Your safety is important. She teases him about running all the way here, but then he goes stone serious. Do not cross the line. And I cannot stress this enough. This comes back later, trust me. Next chapter, the urine tension is about to explode. Okay, so chapter 37 opens with this red-haired powerhouse who is clearly done playing nice. She's warning some blue-haired guy, Lady Ennis, do not cross the line. And then she freezes with a full, oh my, because she just spotted something that changes the whole vibe. Get this, she turns on him and goes, so she's your line, is she? Talking about Echinacea, obviously. He's all cool and distant. You may imagine as you will, but I haven't decided anything yet. The audacity of this man, I swear. But she hits him right back. Did you ever really have another choice, my lord? And then she starts thinking hard. If I were to decide to give up Langika, the blue-haired guy is shook. Give up? The holy sword? She just stares him down with that intense look. Here's the thing about the holy sword of Langika. We get this dramatic black rose close-up and a figure dripping red Kool-Aid falling through the air because it can no longer be wielded if one, therefore the owner of Langika, cannot act against the universal truth of human justice. This was the greatest blow to the royal family related to Urin Hayden, a man who is bound to act against all that is evil. How long such a person must be to manage. Yeah, that burden is heavy. But if he were to let go of the holy sword, his range of choices would broaden greatly. So she decides right then, I'll act on your behalf. From now on, it's better for you to go ahead without me, Urin. Oh honey, the quiet sacrifice is real. She's looking up, oh my goodness, he's far deeper than I thought. Then perhaps there really could be a chance. Keep that in your back pocket, because this redhead is cooking something big for later. Cut to the academy side, and they're entrusting the club member selection to Senior Reina, who cheerfully goes, yes, leave it to me. Meanwhile, Echinacea is walking with blonde cadet Alice after training. You worked hard today, X. Alice is all it was nothing, I just loosened up a little. Then he starts analyzing his form. When I attack from the upper line, my strikes don't carry as much force as I expected. X, what do you think? She's in full coach mode already. She suggests to stabilize it would be better to widen her stance a bit, and suddenly Alice is staring and goes, eh? She's like, what is it? Why are you staring so intently at my legs? The audacity, and he's just, huh? Totally caught. But then boom, Urin appears and Alice snaps into full salute. Ah, salute. Commander, I salute you. Urin calmly asks Cadet Alice, would you give us the room? I have words for my squire. Yes, Commander, and Alice pieces out. I'll head off first, then X. Now it's just Echinacea and Urin alone in that golden forest light, and she is immediately spiraling. What do? I can't meet his eyes. After sparring, my hair must be a mess. Is my outfit all right? My makeup? Are we getting on well despite the silence? He calls her name soft, Echinacea. She answers, yes, Lord. Did something happen? He asks. Pardon? Anything unusual or unpleasant? Nothing happened, she says. Truly? You didn't encounter anyone? She's thinking it must be about the club drama. If it's about a club dispute, we settled it through a duel. It didn't trouble me much. Urin looks confused. A dispute between cadets? What is that? You hadn't crossed paths with anyone outside of cadets? No, I was in the training grounds all day today. I see. Is your body well? She's quick. I'm fully healed. If you don't trust me, we can resume my sparring drills at once. He goes, no, there's nothing like that. Take enough rest. Forgive me for stealing your time. But he's still not looking at her and she notices. Could it be, do you dislike meeting me? He says, I don't dislike it, it's not that I dislike, and she's watching him so carefully. If it isn't dislike, then why do you not look at me? He's getting flustered. This is maddening. I can't control my expression. And then he just drops it. You're beautiful. Echinaceia's brain short circuits. Commander, I've lost it. What in the world do I just say? Can't I just disappear into a crack somewhere? She's panicking so hard while he just smiles soft. Forgive me, Lord, I must take leave of my senses for a moment. He tells her no, it doesn't matter, then drops the real bomb. The day after tomorrow, I must leave for business of Astaka, and because of the schedule, I will be unable to participate in the Academy's opening banquet. Even so, will you still come with me? She's just, tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, this invitation is about to get so much messier. Okay, so Urine corners Echinaceia after everything and just soft launches the biggest ask. He wants her to come with him on a mission, and get this, he frames it as a request, not an order, so she can totally say no. She's immediately like, what kind of mission even is this? And he goes, it's difficult to speak of the details right now. Classic Urine mysterious commander energy, you know how he is. He gives her until tomorrow to decide, or he'll take the silence as a refusal. But Echinaceia, she doesn't even blink. No, I will go. The audacity of how fast she jumps in. Then, oops, she realizes she answered without thinking, and her brain immediately spirals. Is he testing whether that cursed sword demon is still lurking somewhere with zero interference? Keep that in your back pocket. She has this intense close-up moment thinking she'd absolutely hate him if he was playing games. But then Yorin just smiles all soft and says thank you. Oh honey, those eyes are doing numbers on her. He tells her to be ready and show up at the commander's office at 10 a.m. the day after tomorrow. Trip's at least a week long. Prepare accordingly, and he will be waiting, Echinaceia. The way he says her name, messy. Later, she's spiraling hard. I think I just made a hasty decision in the heat of the moment. But how could she refuse after seeing that expression on his face? Besides, Yurin also seemed quite happy about it. And then she's blushing herself into next week, still calling me pretty, calling me pretty. She's already daydreaming about summer dresses and going shopping for the first time in ages. These two are going to be a whole thing. She gets all reflective. Before turning back time, she couldn't even lay hands on nice things just for survival. Heart completely dried up. But now it feels like she's gradually finding the parts of herself she lost. I loved this soft beat. She's wondering what kind of style Yuren even likes and hoping he thinks she's pretty. All those expectations from him must be why he bought her this dress. Look, what am I thinking? The audacity of her own brain right now. Day of the mission, 9 a.m. at the castle, and she's staring at the flower brooch Yuren gave her at the birth celebration banquet. Might have a chance, but she doesn't dare wish to be with him because she shouldn't want it. Then her uncle pops in, all concerned. Oh, are you in there? Came to check if you're recovered from that illness. She's fine now, thank you, uncle. But he drops that from tomorrow she'll be leaving on a long journey with the commander. Uncle's jaw hits the floor. What? He can't tell the details for the lady's sake. Haven't you heard anything? What on earth is he going for? Echinaceia just that she has no idea what Yurin's thinking either. Anyway, they're heading to Illyria, and the mysterious Lady Dasani gets Sir Teresa as escort because a man as vice commander wouldn't cut it. Then Uncle's eyeing that cursed sword hard. Hey, Uncle, who do you think is the one who brought the demonic sword? They can't just not know who tried to wipe them out. She figures the second prince's side is a high possibility, but to dig deeper, her only choice is investigating the original place. No, that's too dangerous. If he gets caught poking around the empire right under their noses, he could be charged with treason. I can't lose Uncle again. He was planning on not letting them get away with it if he ever found who brought that sword to the lady's estate. She grabs his hand and goes, I learned all of this thanks to you, Uncle. Thank you. He looks at her all soft and says, you've really changed. You're no longer my little sister I have to take care of. You're all grown up now, Echinaceia rose. And next chapter, this mission is about to get so much messier. Tell me you're not already hooked. Okay, so you know how Echinaceia is out here rewriting her whole fate with that snarky cursed sword? Well, this chapter opens with someone going, yeah, I should probably tell her about this in advance, and cut to her looking all soft and pink-haired under those arches. Then boom, she goes EK Tambung because this black-haired guy just strolls up holding a big package and calling her name like it's nothing. The audacity of the casual entrance, I loved it. He's all, I wanted to come earlier, but the Lord kept me busy, and she's better now by the sea. Then he spots the papers and goes, what are those documents? Keep that little detail in your back pocket. Ah, they're invitations for the summer festival, the most widely celebrated festival across the entire continent, complete with that dreamy dancing couple energy. Tell me you're not already smiling. She didn't even know? Yeah, the Knights take the lead and throw a grand festival in Azteca every year. It's a whole production, trust me. Plus, there's an Azure Sky Knights inspection ceremony during the festival, and guests from all over come just to see it. And this guy? He's suddenly thinking about the commander. Yeah, that person. I'm sorry. He heard Uren was heading out on that long-term mission alone, and of course he'd accompany him since he's the squire and all. He's been on that long-term mission with the commander, and that person got called to him. The whole order's been understaffed and overworked. Oh, honey, no. Although the commander ordered him not to tell, he couldn't even quit because things just kept getting messier. But the commander is still thinking of him with that soft attention. Come to think of it, the commander was gone that very day. Is it really a coincidence? Something wrong? Sorry, I was lost in thoughts. These two are gonna be a whole thing. Well then, you'll meet him after you wrap your mission, right? When you return, it might be time for the Sun Festival. Sounds good? Let's enjoy that when the time comes. I cannot stress this enough how soft this moment is. Well then, have a safe trip. The train is departing, the bell's ringing, the clock's ticking, and the city's just buzzing under that soft light. She's left with all these quiet thoughts. It's so annoying staying face to face like this. She just stares out at the scenery until her ankles hurt. Still quiet, she's wondering if Uren's even awake over there. If I could, I'd want to do anything but sit here. Uren too. I wonder if he's asleep. He looks so endlessly peaceful. But in reality, he's been drained of all that power, suffering in silence. Looking at his sleeping face takes her right back. In front of the fountain tower, he asked her to call him by his name. When he said it, he didn't use his father's name. Could that person want to cast off the imperial family name? A man who lost his mother the moment he was born, hated by his father for that sin, and lived as a thorn in the side of his siblings. It's a life she can't even begin to imagine. The brighter the light, the darker the shadow gets. The Uren she knew was only a tiny bit of that brilliant light. She wants to know more about him, what he dreams, what he loves, what he fears. When they return after this mission is over, I wonder if Uren will get engaged to that lady. I don't want to get engaged. We're just a lord and his squire, but if we were lovers, I would have told him that I'd stay to live at his heart's desire. She blushes so hard, then suddenly, Lord, where did you wake up? He just looks at her and goes, I have never. Okay, tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter these two are about to get so messy. Okay, so after that whole sleepless night mess, Echinacea and Uren are finally on the road for this secret mission. And get this, Uren just casually drops that he never even fell asleep. She's sitting there all pink-haired and flustered, whispering to herself that this is still so awkward. The tension? Absolutely delicious. They're heading to a tiny town in the Orzala region of the Eastern Empire, hopping off at the station at night, then switching to a carriage so they arrive by morning. Echinacea peeks out the window and straight up asks about the mission. You know she's already piecing things together from her past life. Uren hits her with, you know about Elgosa, I presume, and boom, flash to this cursed-looking blade dripping red Kool-Aid. That was the sword from the case where the Saintess was taken out in the previous timeline. Keep that in your back pocket, because this comes back hard. The whole objective of this mission is to retrieve Elgosa. Echinacea's eyes go wide, and inside she's screaming that she has to act like she's hearing this for the first time. Wasn't that the sword that went missing? And on top of that, Elgosa's owner, oh honey, the stakes just skyrocketed. Once they reach the spot, they'll lie in wait because Elgosa's owner is supposed to show up around this exact time. She asks how he even knows that, and Uren goes all mysterious. I cannot reveal the source. At that place, at that time, the Saintess was taken out. Yeah, that timeline. After that whole mess, Elgosa was discovered, and during the Azure Sky Knight investigation, they learned the Saintess had been taken out. She was just a young child, 12 or 13 at most. To save that kid, Uren is risking everything by dipping out right before a critical decision. The audacity of this man. Echinacea softens and thinks that's so like urine, then promises she'll follow him no matter what. He checks if she's okay sleeping outdoors while they wait, and she says, of course, but he warned her not to overdo it. Your body is weaker than you think. You were recently sick with a body ache. Protective mode activated. She swears she'll be careful, but inside she's panicking that the real reason she got sick was the imbalance between her skills and her body. Surely he's not suspicious of something like that, right? Then he casually drops, by the way, about your sword. Oh no. Is there a particular reason you use that sword? A knight's sword not good enough? Echinacea freezes, then admits she doesn't like maintaining her sword. She heavily chooses a dirty one so she can just replace it later. Classic avoidance, and I cannot stress this enough. She's being so messy about it. Yuren presses if it's simply because maintenance is a hassle, and she thinks she doesn't want to lie to him if she can help it. When she's holding a sword, she often feels unwell, so she wanted to minimize the time spent gripping it. It's quite a sad story, and these two are going to be a whole thing over this. But when she holds a sword by herself, bad memories come flooding back. The people who were no more by the swords she wielded. The vast amount of red Kool-Aid that stained the blade is hard to erase from her mind. As I thought, you hate swords? She admits there are times when it's fun, though. When is that? When she's sparring, there are times it feels like she's having a conversation through their swords, and she enjoys those moments. Yuren seems somehow annoyed with her using that sword, then softens and says, someday with you, I'd like to have a conversation through swords. My heart. He quickly adds he's not pressuring her, apologies, but Echinacea is over here wondering if it's just her imagination that he seems annoyed for some reason. Then he suddenly excuses himself for a moment. The way he looks at her sword? Suspicious. Tell me you're not already hooked. He reaches out, and next thing you know, he's presenting something enchanted with magic. No need to take special care of it at all. Don't tell me. A sword? Sparkles everywhere as this gorgeous blade materializes right in front of them. I loved it. The drama of this moment. Her eyes go full purple sparkle mode as the sword fully appears, ribbons and all. Look, what is the sword? There's writing engraved on it, Ame Amethyst? Is that the name of this sword? Yes, and then Yuren just hands it over like it's nothing. It's yours. Echinacea stands there holding this brand new enchanted beauty, amethyst glowing in her hands, and for once, she looks like she might actually ditch that cursed snarky blade. But trust me, nothing with these two stays simple. Next chapter, the real mission heat kicks in and things get messier. Okay, so Yuren just casually hands Echinacea this ridiculously gorgeous custom sword like it's no big deal, and her whole face lights up. She is straight up starstruck, spinning it around and whispering, wow, it's so pretty. Keep that in your back pocket because this gift is about to mess with her head in the best way. Get this, she starts overthinking immediately. The strap looks like it was made for dresses, so of course her brain goes, wait, did he design this specifically for me? She's sitting there clutching it like a lovesick teenager while the sword just gleams all fancy. But oh honey, no, she slaps herself out of it. Let's not have any useless delusions, she mutters. Lords gift swords to knights all the time, right? Meanwhile, Yuren is over there thinking the exact same thing, like it's totally normal commander stuff. Then he drops the practical details. Recharge the mana every 6 months, ask mages, whatever. Echinacea, being the absolute menace she is, immediately offers, I can recharge it for you. The audacity of this girl volunteering like it's a date. Yuren's just standing there looking all cool while explaining it's basically a cursed sword situation because of how people react to his gifts. And fun fact, he only finished commissioning it right when he decided to make her his second in command. Timing much? She beams so hard the flowers practically bloom around her and thanks him like he just handed her the moon. It's truly beautiful. I'll use it well. Yuren softens for half a second and goes, I'm glad you like it. These two are going to be a whole thing, I swear. She presses him. You had this custom made? And he admits he did, then asks if it's a burden. Girl clocks that he was waiting for the perfect moment the whole time and calls him out. You could have just given it any time, she says, and he freezes. Here's the thing, Yuren quietly drops that she seemed to dislike him. Echinacea's brain short-circuits so hard she just goes, question mark. Who dislikes whom? Internally, she's screaming that she's already falling for him right after the rejection mess. Oh, the drama. She panics and starts babbling about how last time he called her pretty and please don't say anything else. Then she yanks the conversation back, gratefully accepts the sword, and asks if she can try it on right now. Smooth recovery, girl. Not. She's fumbling with how to wear it when suddenly the cursed sword wakes up and loses its entire mind. Master, are you now? And then it starts throwing a full jealous tantrum because she called the new blade pretty. The snark is unmatched. This sword is being so messy. You're so cruel. You've never done that for me. Throw that fake, ugly thing away. Echinacea is desperately trying to shush it while it rants about becoming twisted from the betrayal. I loved every second of this chaos. She finally snaps and tells the cursed sword to pipe down so she can enjoy her new gift in peace. Damn demonic sword, she mutters once it's quiet. And right on cue, Urin notices her struggling with the straps and offers to help. Cue the tension. He steps in close, takes her hands, and starts fastening the sword for her. Excuse me, he says all polite while they're basically chest to chest. Echinacea is blushing so hard she can barely breathe. You fasten it like this. The air is thick, trust me. She squeaks out a thank you and he immediately bolts, claiming he's thirsty. She chases after him asking where he's going, but he just keeps walking. Classic Urin emotional retreat. The second he's gone, she collapses against the wall. Alone now, she stares at the new sword and her face goes full tomato. What in the world was that? She starts spiraling. Every time she looks at it, she thinks of him instead of the nightmare memories. And I cannot stress this enough, she is in deep. The cursed sword tries one last jealous dig and she shuts it down hard. If you tell me to throw the amethyst away, I'll break you first. Then she admits the real reason this gift is special. Because Urin gave it to me, when I look at this, he'll come to mind before the bad stuff. She sits there glowing under soft light, hugging the sword to her chest, and whispers the line that seals it. I think I'm starting to like him more. Yeah, that confession just dropped. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter these feelings are about to explode. Okay, so chapter 42 of The Sword-Bearing Flower kicks off with Echinacea trapped in the messiest nightmare from her past life, and I cannot stress this enough how raw it is. This furious figure is covered in red Kool-Aid, screaming, "Is this what I get for believing in you? Is this the result of me giving you a chance?" She keeps going, "I shouldn't have waited for you. I should have taken you out right there. And you, dare to say you love me?" The audacity of this dream is unreal, and Echinacea is just drowning in it. She gasps awake like the whole world just flipped, and the carriage driver is all miss, is something wrong? Echinacea plays it cool. It's nothing. I just had a nightmare. Keep that nightmare in your back pocket. It is not done with her. The driver goes, "We've almost arrived at the village. About time you woke up anyway. And look at these rolling green hills. The whole landscape is just glowing as they roll in. You know how these two are going to be a whole thing, right?" Now she's side by side with Yuren, and he checks if she's all right. She calls out to Pandora, yeah, that snarky cursed sword, and insists she's fine. They will start climbing that mountain soon. Make sure to keep up. But get this, Echinacea is trying to climb in heels and a dress, and she's like, "As I thought, this is no ordinary feat. Still, I can't give up." Oh, honey, the sheer stubborn sparkle on her face. She's already strategizing. To Urin, I am just the Count's daughter, Echinacea Loak, so I should use more intricate sword motions. Once another Pandora's box opens, magic can't activate without external contact, but if magic flows out of the sword or she moves beyond human limits, especially when the opponent can sense the difference, like in a sparring match, it would be impossible to use a sword against Urin without magic. He would definitely notice that. Wait, the gears are turning so hard right now. She realizes, do I really need to draw my sword with all my might? It would not be strange to lose after showing my skills. After all, I'm just a petty high squire at the military academy. Why didn't I think of this until now? I was always thinking about sparring with everything I had. My might, Urin said he would answer my questions after the sparring match. Why he made me his squire, why he took an interest in me at the birthday banquet. What is he thinking? Does he really not know who I am? I want to know, and to be precise, I want to draw him out to share his thoughts. I'm curious. If I were to cross swords with Urin for real, it might be much more enjoyable than it was with Alice, but these two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. They finally reach the place, and Urin goes, "That's it. It looks like an abandoned building," but he explains it's a shelter used by hunters and herbalists in this area. We'll be spending the night here for the next few days. Echinacea asks, "Is there something going to happen?" Yes, it will happen around the middle of the night so no one will notice it. Could be as soon as 3 or 4 days or as late as 10. Lord, how do you know such things? I'm sorry, but that's a difficult question right now. First, let's set up camp. Night falls, campfire crackles, and a companion starts prepping the meal, but urine steps in, like, you should get some rest. Why don't you let me do it? This is a squire's duty, she protests, but he just smiles and takes over. I loved it, the soft domestic vibe after all that tension. He cooks up this bubbling stew, and Echinacea tastes it. Oh, this is much more delicious than I expected. She didn't know he was a good cook. He's like, I'm not great, just good enough to make something edible. I was a squire once too. You were? I thought you would have been a perfect knight from the very beginning. He admits I've experienced failure and have lost my way before. She can't even imagine it. Talking about Sir Patrick, the absolute knight, he almost spills the truth of his origin, then catches himself. His mind was a mess when he first entered the academy, and he caused quite a bit of trouble. She's curious what kind of trouble, and he goes, You were the one who brought it up first. Because you were talking to me, I got excited and kept, Pardon? He gets so flustered he basically flees to stand guard tonight so she can sleep. Tell me you're not already hooked. Echinacea sits there under the stars going, I have to talk with him. Yeah, I have to. If I don't, I feel like I'll just keep getting distracted. Next chapter, these two are about to crack something open, and that midnight event Urine mentioned, oh, it is coming. Okay, so picture this. After everything that went down on the mission, Echinacea is just sitting there, replaying the whole thing in her head. From that day, life with Urine basically began, and they were out in the wild taking turns on guard duty, so they only managed to eat twice a day. Keep that soft camping vibe in your back pocket because it gets way more personal real quick. She starts listing all the little things she learned about him while they were alone, and I cannot stress this enough how soft this is. Like the guy spends his free time just chopping blocks of wood like some kind of stoic lumberjack prince. The audacity of this man being both terrifying and domestic. Then she spots his hand sword and goes all soft-eyed like, oh, it's cute, can I take one? Girl is out here collecting urine trivia like it's her new hobby. You know how she is, always poking at the edges of him. But then the cursed sword starts running its mouth again, because of course it does. It's snarking about special people and how Kirei is apparently one of them, and Echinacea is just sitting there like, what even is this conversation right now? These two are gonna be a whole thing forever, I swear. The sword keeps going, all deep about how family comes from loneliness and why someone would cherish the people who saved them. Echinacea is listening like, oh honey, no, this is getting heavy, but she still pushes back. Get this, she asks if that person never had anyone special at all. And then she drops the real talk. You can cherish other people the same way you cherish family. The sword is not having it, pointing out that she still aims it at people, and Echinacea just goes, how dare you? I loved it, the way she treats this talking blade like a messy little sibling. She starts monologuing about how long they've been stuck together and how she keeps trying to ditch the magic sword completely. At moments like this, she feels like she's dealing with an innocent child, and honestly, mood. Tell me you're not already hooked on this weird found family sword drama. Then boom, she hits the real reason, because I like him. Someone you love becomes special even if they aren't family, and it's softer, different. She is out here admitting feelings to a cursed blade under the stars, and I am living for the mess. Cue Urine himself strolling up like, why are you not asleep? And she just freezes. Sleep isn't coming easy, she says. I worked too much. The shelter is quiet, everything is quiet, except the absolute chaos in her chest right now. She looks at him and goes, Lord, and you can practically hear her heart doing backflips. He asks if she's scared, and she admits she's not planning to fight for real, but he is getting so agitated. Oh, honey, these two are circling each other like absolute disasters. She decides this is something even worse than a lie, but she can't move forward otherwise, because she'll just keep spinning this cycle of her heart fluttering, getting her hopes up, then denying it. So she looks him right in the eye and says she wants to hear Urine's true feelings. And then she just goes, I will take the first strike. Urine says, very well, like it's nothing, but his hand is already trembling on the hilt. For the commander of the Azure Sky Knights to humble himself this much? Yeah, that person is not okay right now. Here's the thing though, Echinacea has already decided she's going to lie with her sword. If she fights him for real, he will see right through her, so she plans to hold back and let him be disappointed. One thing is certain, whatever feeling he's anticipating, it's not going to land the way he thinks. But the second they clash, the past comes roaring back like a freight train. Suddenly she's hearing you, I should never have waited for you, I should have taken you out right there. You dare to say you love me? How shameless. The red Kool-Aid is everywhere and she is spiraling. The memories keep hitting. You stole my entire future, and yet you still point your sword at me again. She's gasping, the sword clangs to the ground, and Uren is calling her name like Echinacea. Something is very wrong, and she can't get any closer to the present. And then the worst of it crashes in, torches, screaming, "This damned wench, my son was no more because of you. Bring the oil, you have to burn a witch to take her out completely." Echinacea is right back in that nightmare, and Uren is standing there watching her fall apart. She is shaking, the fire is everywhere in her head, and the commander she likes is right in front of her, looking like he might actually understand more than he should. Okay, tell me you're not already losing it, because whatever happens next with these two and that cursed sword, it's about to get so much messier. Okay, so the village is still a total inferno, and this shady cult guy is just standing there holding a little kid like a trophy. He goes, "You little mutt, you should have known your place," and the audacity is unreal. Echinacea is watching from the shadows like, what in the world is happening right now? Get this, he decides the kid must be the chosen of Illyria, so of course he wants to hold back the people by taking her out. Echinacea just whispers, "Yes, Lord," to her sword like she's about to serve pure chaos. Then boom, she blasts him with this massive pink energy wave that sends the whole place shaking. The cultists are panicking, yelling to burn the whole shelter down, and one of them is like, "They say a witch only is no more if you burn her." Oh honey, no. Echinacea's sword is already out and she is not playing. She flings this glowing needle-like projectile straight through the fire like it's nothing. And I cannot stress this enough. She just takes them all out in one gorgeous spinning slash. The guy goes, "Ugh," as he hits the ground and his sword clatters away. Then suddenly, footsteps. Uren shows up looking like an absolute vision in white, and the remaining cultist is just staring like, "What? Who the hell are you?" Uren is being so casually powerful about it, he goes, "I am the commander of the Azure Sky Knights. I asked which village you belong to." The guy is sweating bullets, and Echinacea is just sitting there on the ground like, his attire is extraordinary. Where did he appear from? Keep that in your back pocket, because these two are gonna be a whole thing. Uren offers her a hand and is all soft about it. "You and the child are all right? In a place like this?" She takes it, and he even wraps her up like a third-rate hero. She stammers that they're from a nearby village to the north, just rescuing the child from the fire. He buys it, but you can tell he's clocking every detail. Then he just vanishes into the night with a soft, "It can't be helped, let's break in." And Echinacea is left staring after him going, huh. Meanwhile, the little kid is still totally out of it, and Echinacea is like, "The child is." She's so gentle with her, you guys. I loved it. Okay, so the kid finally wakes up, all hick, hick, and completely terrified. Echinacea is trying so hard not to scare her more, going, "Don't completely terrified," and I know if I force her, she'll just get even more traumatized. She kneels down soft as anything and says, "I won't hurt you. I'm here to save you." She holds the kid's hand and introduces herself. "My name is Echinacea Rowell. You can call me Ina, or you can just call me Uni." The kid is still so shy, but Echinacea just smiles and asks her name. Here's the thing, this little one has been through absolute hell, and Echinacea can feel it. The kid finally whispers her story. She wandered without a fixed residence, a precious person who managed to escape confinement, the cult. Echinacea's face just softens completely. She thinks, stay calm and stay still. That child is one of the cult. And she pieces it together. Homage people who live by fortune telling, artists, music, selling unique goods. She realizes something big must have happened in that village, and this kid is one of the ones that barely made it. So she looks at her and goes, "Will you tell me your name?" The kid is glowing in this soft light, and Echinacea is just thinking how beautiful she is, like a fairy. Then the kid asks the question that hits different. "Someone like that came to save me? Am I already gone?" Echinacea's heart just melts. She promises, "I'll protect you. You don't have to be scared of anything." And the kid is floating in this dreamy bubble world, going, "Will you really protect me? Will you save me?" It's so pure and so sad at the same time. Tell me you're not already hooked. But then, oh no, the kid suddenly gasps, "Ah!" and a massive dark rift tears open right under them. Echinacea is screaming, "A rift!" as the ground just swallows them both into this nightmare void. The kid is thrashing, going, "Shy, no," and Echinacea is desperately trying to hold on. They're falling through pure darkness and chains, and Echinacea is panicking. Damn it never appeared when I needed it to. She's thinking if she is left alone inside the rift, she'll definitely be no more. Then she hears a voice calling her name from somewhere far away, and she freezes. It's Uren. He's standing there in the real world, eyes wide, sensing something is very wrong. Echinacea is still trapped in the rift, debating whether she should pretend to fall or just call for him. She reaches out through the void, and then she screams his name with everything she has. Uren's head snaps up like he heard her across dimensions. Echinacea is falling, hand outstretched, purple eyes wide with pure desperation, and she just cries out, Uren, at the top of her lungs. Yeah, that person. Next chapter is about to get so much messier, trust me. Okay, so chapter 45 yeets us straight into a gut punch flashback from Echinacea's first life, and she is going full drama queen on her cursed sword. The sword's freaking out like, are you crazy? How could you do a thing not knowing what's ahead? And she's firing back, I know you're a master, but the value of one life outweighs the whole world. And the sword just loses it. Who could fix what was already gone after everything I did to save you? The audacity of this talking blade, I swear. Then we cut to Echinacea standing alone in that white dress, looking like the weight of every timeline is on her shoulders. The sword keeps snipping at her. I can't let you go like this. And suddenly she's wrapped in these glowing blue chains while the sword mutters, even hesitating is a waste of time. You know how these two are, pure chaos energy every single time they talk. Smash cut to the present, and Echinacea is in this nightmare forest going, ooh, what is that? And the sword is screaming, run. Dark shapes everywhere, red trees, pure horror vibes, and she is not having a good time. She's all, I expected this, and the sword asks Master, what's the plan? The plan is simple. Then she just goes, amazing, it's the worst. I loved it. Classic Echinacea understatement while everything is on fire around her. She looks around, and the trees that were here last time have been cut down. The path is just gone, and she whispers, are Uren and I on our way? Flashing back to that soft moment with white-haired Uren right before everything went sideways. Keep that in your back pocket. These two are going to be a whole thing. She's thinking if something were to happen and then notices there's oil everywhere, Uren might last longer here, but even his survival skills would struggle. Looking at this place, she can still feel how they enjoyed it right before it all went bad. Oh honey, the nostalgia is brutal. Her detection magic is working and monsters are pouring out trying to recreate the last life. The sword's like, you must search for the cursed sword's whereabouts, and she's glowing with that demonic blade ready. Get this, she came prepared this time. The sword panics, wait, don't go to the place you just saw. That won't be happening. She didn't see any monsters yet and thinks she can use being a master plus the demonic sword. Why do you keep letting me plan like last time? The sword whines. These two are so messy about it. She smirks, it was a good idea to come in. If I hadn't, those two might have been taken out from hunger and thirst. The sword's all, are you listening to me? I'm the real master. And she fires back, shouldn't you come when I call if you're the real master? The audacity, I cannot stress this enough. Suddenly, a child's voice screams, "K quiet!" from far away, and the sword is yelling, don't just stand there and help. Echinacea's eyes go wide. She widens her detection range but can't sense any presence. Is it a characteristic of this place? Why can she only hear the voice? The screaming stops and she's terrified something serious happened. It sounded like it came from behind that tree. She reaches out and her hand gets stuck because this tree is absorbing magic. This damn tree, one thing after another, and now there's red Kool-Aid on her palm. Oh, honey, no. She's stuck and goes, this won't do. I'll have to break the tree with my sword, or use the magic Uren gave me. She channels it, blue light exploding, and the tree just crashes down with a massive thud. Master, are you here? She calls out into the sudden quiet. Then boom, this massive red-eyed monster rises up and she's like, what is that? Shit, so that's why she couldn't make a sound. She charges in full purple glow mode, slashing, the monster regenerating like crazy. Seeing it regenerate, is it a slime or a golem? Either way, I just have to destroy the core. She carves through it with pure fury. The core shatters in a huge blast, and she tells the kids stay hidden. But then this sensation hits her. What is this? It's too familiar, and she freezes mid-fight. Yeah, that feeling from the past life is back, and it is not good. The monster dissolves, and there's a whole person inside. Why on earth is there a person inside a monster? She scoops up this brown-haired kid who mumbles, Mary's grandfather, Grandpa, are you hurt? She offers, is it okay if I heal you? And the kid's like, I want to heal too. Green light exploding around them as the healing sword Algosa awakens. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, this kid and that sword are about to flip everything. Okay, so you know how Echinacea has been stuck with that snarky, cursed sword forever? Well, get this. Chapter 46 opened with her finally unlocking something brand new. A sword whose blade was forged by a blacksmith with human hopes and sheathed in human love. A sword that carries its owner's memories of their battles for righteousness. And boom, green light explodes everywhere as the sword announces itself. The Sword of Healing, Elgiosa. Echinacea is standing there glowing like a whole fairy garden, and I cannot stress this enough. This changes everything for her. Cut to this little girl named Shal who is just sobbing her heart out. She goes, Ume, I'm sorry, I just wanted to heal people. I wish you one day to hurt. Oh, honey, no, she is absolutely wrecked over whatever just went down. Then Echinacea's eyes go wide, pure purple shock, and she just yells, Shal! The whole forest lights up green as vines and leaves start swirling like crazy. Keep that in your back pocket, because this healing power is about to go off. And then, get this, a tiny little plant sprouts right out of the ground holding a glowing fruit. Magic is pouring through the dirt, and this older guy just gasps, Ha, Pewee. The wound really healed. Echinacea is standing there like, yeah, I did that. But of course, some random guy has to ruin the moment. He points at her and goes, Shal, are you okay, you little witch? Things like you should be burned alive. The audacity. Echinacea just freezes with this look of pure, what did you just say? Shal screams EEK and just throws herself into Echinacea's arms, pink petals flying everywhere. She is clinging on for dear life, going, You unnie? Thank you, Shal. Thank you so much. These two are going to be a whole thing. I can already feel it. Echinacea softens completely and tells her it didn't creep her out at all. The villagers said she needed to heal her grandpa, but they called her a witch. And Shal goes, You're not a witch. You're a Giosa owner, Shal. A Giosa owner. Yeah, that title is huge. Then Echinacea just drops the softest promise. Once we get out of here, no one will be able to bully you. And no one will call you a witch, because you're going to become the Saintess of Azenka. Shal's face is pure starstruck, like, Saint, pardon? Shal is still processing, going, You must be mistaken. There's no way I could be someone that amazing. But Echinacea just hugs her tighter and says, Don't worry, I guarantee it. You'll understand once we're out. So let's get out of here first. Grandpa, too. Grandpa has to come with us. Here's the thing, though. That grandpa, he's always grandfather from Gory Village, one of the people who dragged Shal here, and Shal is spiraling, going, Hate him? Well, a plague broke out in the village and so many people were no more. Everyone must have been so sad. Echinacea's face goes soft and heartbroken as she listens. Because when my mom was sick, I had the exact same thoughts I've ever been in my entire life. If only I'd gotten sick sooner, none of this would have happened. She is so messy about this, and I loved it. She tells Shal the only bad thing is the disease, not the people. How what the city folk possible for a human to have a heart like that? Shal is crying again, and Echinacea just goes, It's fine. It's not a deep wound anyway. Should I heal it for you? But Shal panics. Still, does my healing creep you out? No, absolutely not. Using that power comes with a price, doesn't it? Look, you're exhausted right now. Save your energy. You can treat this wound later. Now that I've found Shal, I need to find the shelter. Uran wouldn't be in any danger in here, so let's destroy the barrier without running into him. And then Echinacea just goes full battle mode. Red light, golden sword swings, trees exploding into autumn leaves. She is carving through this barrier like it owes her money. She lands hard, breathing heavy, and tells Shal she'll lift her up there so she can rest for a bit. Yes, and you. Just as I thought, the heat disappears once it's cut down. Wow, Shal. Uni has something to look for real quick. Then some guy tries to mess with her while she's done, and she just goes, You weren't that strong, right? Get up, since you're not fully healed anyway. If you mess with her while I'm done, you weren't that strong, right? She is not playing around. She finds the barrier weak point. People collapsed inside, and then, wait, Urien! He's right there with his white hair and that coat, and he turns around going, Echinacea? Tell me you're not already hooked, because these two just locked eyes in the middle of a burning forest, and next chapter is about to be chaos. Okay, so remember that cursed sword of Echinacea's? The snarky one that taught her to rewind time? Well, chapter 47 cracks open its whole tragic origin, and I cannot stress this enough. It is messy. Get this, Langiza was always an armored spirit, a divine sword that only gets wielded by someone who has committed no evil deeds, pure, spotless, the real deal. But her master? Oh, honey. The second Langiza loses her qualification the moment they commit a single no-no, and apparently this master went full villain. The sword gets abandoned, and boom, she becomes the longest abandoned divine sword around. And that is why the two are one and the same now. Langessa is still divine, still cursed, still stuck. Keep that in your back pocket, because this comes back later, trust me. Cut to Urine, white hair looking extra dramatic, basically monologuing about why he even has this power. He says it is so he can judge whether people's actions are about to fail, and he will not violate the principles of justice. The audacity of this man being this noble. He goes on about how he has to help them make the right judgments, and if he cannot stop someone from crossing that line, he at least has to warn them. Those blue eyes? Yeah, he is stone serious, until only his brothers know the secret. People will be wary of him if they find out, so he keeps it locked down. His justice includes the punishment and judgment of evil, and for that judgment to be sacred, it must not be altered by hate or fear. I loved it. This man is carrying so much. Then we are in this gorgeous imperial hall, Yuren kneeling before the emperor, offering his sincerest congratulations on his majesty's birthday. He prays the empire will continue to prosper under the emperor's grace. Classic Yuren, perfect knight mode. But then he steps out onto the balcony, all brooding and beautiful, and his brother Carleen shows up. You look sad, you're making the balcony boring, Carleen teases. Yuren just goes, not at all, brother Carleen. These two are gonna be a whole thing. Carleen is not buying it. He basically says, stop this gloomy act and get out of his sight, then admits he is sick of looking at him. Yuren just stands there all elegant and apologizes, saying he is not listening. Oh honey, the sibling mess is real. And then Yuren's mind drifts. He wonders what an interesting life she would lead if she became a knight, through, of course, the eyes of someone who is not listening to him. Yeah, that person. He is thinking about Echinacea. Who is that, he mutters, and suddenly he is picturing her. Pink hair, green dress, looking like an ordinary noblewoman. But he knows she is not. She is likely already entangled with family choices and a messy life without knowing herself. At this rate, nothing good will come of it. With a life like that, humans that fragile will drown, he thinks. Just nonsense. Then he snaps out of it, staring at her across the ballroom like, who on earth are you staring at? A woman? This is the first time I've seen you take an interest in a woman. Tell me you're not already hooked. Yuren brushes it off, says it is not interest. Her hair color was unusual, so he merely glanced at her. Oh, really? Meanwhile, Echinacea is over there looking soft and curious, and then we slam into a flashback of pure chaos. Fire, screaming, Echinacea. Past life Yuren is racing through the flames, scooping her up, holding her so tight. I am so glad you are safe, he says, and she is just staring at him like that man. He is covered in soot and red Kool-Aid and pure desperation. These two in that timeline, absolute heartbreak. She tries to play it cool, says it is just a scratch. He should have asked her to heal it earlier so he did not need to worry. It would not hinder her in battle, but he is not having it. He grabs her hand, stares at the wound, and just breaks. Why must you always? He holds her face, voice cracking, asking why she entered the Knights. Innocent. He knew why she entered the Knights. She should have had plenty of time to escape, and she is just looking at him with those big eyes while the world burns around them. Next chapter, oh, it gets so much messier. Okay, so you know how Echinacea has been rewriting fate with that snarky cursed sword? Well, get this. Chapter 49 kicks off with pure chaos because Yuren is right in the middle of a monster mess and she is losing it. She's screaming his name like the world is ending all over again. She's yelling for him to get out of there and get back on his horse, but oh honey, that girl is already charging in herself. The audacity of this pink-haired noble who everyone thought couldn't lift a sword? Absolute legend energy. And then she snaps. Never again! She is not letting history repeat. Not this time. Not with him. Keep that in your back pocket because this whole second life is built on that exact promise. She hits the ground hard, purple energy flaring, and this creepy bandaged monster with glowing red eyes is right there. Echinacea does not care. She's already mid-swing like the delicate flower everyone underestimated. A mere monster, how dare you, she basically snarls, and then it's pure sword chaos. Red Kool-Aid flying, slashes everywhere, and I cannot stress this enough, she is going full beast mode to protect him. The thing screeches, vines and dark energy everywhere, but she finishes it. Monster is no more. Game over for that creature. And the second it's down, she's already spinning around looking for urine, like her heart is about to explode. How badly is he hurt? Please let it not be serious. She's whispering all of this while her hands are shaking, and you can feel every ounce of that past life trauma crashing back. These two are going to be a whole thing, trust me. Right, that's it, she decides. I don't want to experience this twice, so please, I couldn't stand losing you again, even if it's just a dream. Oh, my heart. She is so messy about him, and I am living for it. Then boom, Urine is standing there looking all pristine and white like nothing happened. She panics hard. What have I just done? Even if the demonic energy wasn't fully gone, that was still next level power she just unleashed. She wants to disappear right this second. Echinacea, are you all right? He calls, and she is spiraling so hard she almost faceplants. He catches her, of course he does, and drops the bomb. I knew you could use mana. Cue her internal freakout. You know, right? Once when, does he really have memories from before the regression? She's spiraling about whether he remembers the other timeline, and I am screaming because this is everything. Will he hate me now? She's covering her face, full-on meltdown mode, and Urine just goes soft. Echinacea, look at me. If you wish to hide it, I will hide it for you. If you want, I will even try to forget it. Then he starts spilling. When you were a freshman, I wanted to duel you. I recognized the talent in you at the birthday banquet. That's why I made you my squire. He has been watching her this whole time like a complete softie. Your hands were never the hands of someone who never held a sword. To use techniques like that without training? Impossible unless you were already used to mana. He's been piecing it together forever, and she is shook. She's overthinking why he's being so gentle, why his ears are red, why everything feels so loaded. Then she blurts the question that changes everything. Lord, by any chance, do you like me? He goes quiet for half a second and then, get this, he says it. I do like you. No, rather than simply liking you, I adore you. Full soft confession, flowers everywhere, and I am not okay. Tell me you're not already hooked, because next chapter, these two are about to get even messier. Okay, so chapter 50 opens on pure, soft-focused romance energy, and Echinacea is just standing there thinking, I am in love with you. She is staring at Urine like he hung the moon, and you can feel every sparkle in the air. Then her brain short-circuits. Love? Me? Urine? She is spiraling so hard, and get this, she immediately goes, that's impossible, am I dreaming? The audacity of her own heart right now. But honestly, she is so glad. Look at that soft smile while flower petals rain down. She is thinking how natural it feels to love the person she loves, and I cannot stress this enough, she is glowing. Here's the thing though, the second she lets herself feel it, the past life crashes in hard. She remembers Urine doesn't know, does he? That she is the enemy who ruined him. Oh honey, no. Flashbacks hit like a truck. The person Urine said he loves is the one who mercilessly took him out. She sees herself as a messed up girl who dragged everyone into tragedy, and the red Kool-Aid is everywhere. She is spiraling so deep. What are we gonna do? She never intended to get close to him at all, and now every memory of that night is replaying. Could I, who took him out and tarnished his honor, dare to make this confession? And I cannot stress this enough. The guilt is eating her alive. If the person who took him out said they loved him, claiming it was all in the past now, she would never just stand there wanting to end them. Accepting her feelings while hiding the truth feels like pure deception. Then she looks at present-day Urine and her heart just breaks. What if it's revealed later that I'm the demon of the demonic sword? The moment he realizes the woman he loves is the enemy who took him out, how will those eyes change? Would I be able to stay calm looking into full of hatred? What about the resentment and hatred accumulating in Urine's heart? She is terrified of becoming that hated girl all over again. No, I absolutely cannot accept it. So she shuts it down hard. I can't fall in love and smile like an innocent girl who knows nothing. Urine is just standing there looking soft and confused while she is having a full internal crisis. These two are going to be a whole thing. She tries to pull away, but Urine notices her arm is injured and goes all soft commander mode. You don't even feel the bleeding? He offers to take her to the village, and she is like, "Wait, no, I merely wanted to tell you how I feel. Ah, the timing is a mess." Yuren is being so gentle it hurts. Is there a chance? Since it's just the two of us, want to believe there is? Like I've been waiting for the day when our paths were tangled. Keep that in your back pocket because he is not playing around. But Echinacea is still stuck in her head. Romance, huh? I've never seen anything good come from meddling in human romance. She is trying so hard to shut the door, and Yuren just looks at her like she is already precious. Then Yuren drops the softest line ever. Approaching someone against their will is not a knightly act. She doesn't dislike me, even if she doesn't confide in you. There is a proper line you shouldn't cross. Tell me you're not already melting. He is basically saying if she desires me, I will make her mine by any means necessary. By any means, that's all I want to do. If you're going to discard me, just say so. The tension is unreal right now. Meanwhile, the cursed sword is over here being messy as usual. My happiness is losing precious people, evil deeds, you can talk to your master. And Yuren is just standing there like, I have no intention of ruining her peace. I will handle everything. Then we get this quiet flashback to winter of 1631, and Yuren is remembering the first time he became aware of her existence again. He didn't know at the time, but everything changed after he met her, and that memory is about to change everything next chapter, trust me. Okay, so you know how last time things got dark with that whole subjugation mess? Well, Yuren is sitting there in the fancy office looking absolutely wrecked, and someone asks if he chose wrong about what happened to his older brother. The audacity of that question. Then boom, flashback city. This red-haired guy is getting grilled about whether his brother was a hero or a traitor, and Yuren's just sitting there with that thousand-yard stare. The demons slice their whole unit to bits, and Yuren's like, I feel bad for the subjugation force, but also, yeah. Get this, the sword itself is calling him a filthy thing, and Yuren's mind is spiraling hard. He's remembering how he didn't look after his father's garden, how everything around him ends up broken. Oh honey, no, this boy is carrying so much guilt. And I cannot stress this enough, the flashbacks keep coming. His mother who gave birth to him, the army that cared for him, all of it just gone. In the end, everything gets destroyed. Keep that in your back pocket, because this is why Yuren is the way he is. Then some green-eyed guy is staring him down going, you look like you don't understand what I'm saying. You're not a person. You're not human. Yuren just takes it, and the guy drops that a lying curse that brings ruin is on him. These two are going to be a whole thing. Back in the present, Yuren's talking to this red-haired knight about how once his life began upon no mother's the end, what could he do? Now that they're all no more, the damn empire will finally request their detachment. This is one of the worst massacres the empire has ever committed. Yuren's being so messy about the responsibility thing. He's like, the fact that I am the commander, that's not your responsibility. The one who actually committed the massacre is the demon wielding the demonic sword. Holding you accountable just because the emperor's choice goes against justice? The audacity. Here's the thing, the demon of the demonic sword that appeared that time had no information other than being a young woman. Judging by the scale of the damage, one must be on a completely different level from the users of the demonic sword who have appeared so far. Tell me you're not already hooked. The red-haired guy asks, how will you form the subjugation squad? And Yuren's like, I'll go alone. It's too dangerous for the other members. All right, I'll tell Teresa, okay? What massive damage. Even if you were tainted by the demonic sword, it wouldn't be to this extent. Kind of person is she? Okay, so cut to year 1632, and the Azure Sky Knights are out there under this blood-red sky. Yuren's like, how gruesome. I've seen humans tainted by the demonic sword a few times, but the malice is unusually strong, and then they spot her. This woman in a white dress covered in red Kool-Aid holding a massive cursed blade. Yuren goes, it seems to be because she's holding on. Be careful, that woman must be an innocent. She was simply unlucky enough to be consumed by the demonic sword, as of now. The knights charge in, and I loved it. Yuren's all, as the Azure Sky Knights who protect the door, we will subjugate you. But this girl is fighting like she doesn't belong to any reckless sword technique. She's on par with him. No, incredible. Get this, she's letting everything, no matter what situation, she doesn't stray from. Yuren's thinking she's fighting as if she doesn't allow even a useless sword technique. She's on par with me. No, it's a talent that even overwhelms me. No, compared with the other users, she's too strong. Urine's just standing there going, amazing. It's truly a pity. I'm genuinely sorry. What do you do with someone with such exceptional talent? What to become the owner of the demonic sword? If you had been a knight, I would have earnestly shared a spar with you. The red-haired knight is like, pull yourself together. You can't act like this here, you lunatic. Commander Urine, shall we join you? And Urine just goes, yeah, this isn't a spar, it's a subjugation. The whole squad is locking in. And then the real fight kicks off. Blades flying, red Kool-Aid everywhere, the whole squad going full force against this one girl. She's holding her own against all of them. Keep that in your back pocket, because chapter 52, this is about to get even messier. Okay, so you know how Echinacea has been holding her own against the four of us, even if she is the owner of the demonic sword? Yeah, the examiners are standing there watching her and going, it's hard to believe. What a shame, they mutter, because nobody expected this delicate pink-haired noble to actually be a force of nature. But get this, the Commander Urine is just staring, and one of them whispers that if he thinks she's of no use, then he should just abandon her. Do you really think she wanted this? Oh, honey, no. She's been fighting so hard not to be controlled by that cursed blade, and now everyone is watching her struggle. And I cannot stress this enough, she probably didn't want to do any of this. There's red Kool-Aid everywhere, she's gasping, and that demonic sword is still trying to take over. She's in so much pain, but she's still fighting it with everything she's got. These two are gonna be a whole thing, trust me. Then boom, her eyes go all purple and glowing, and she sees that light. You know the one. She's drowning in darkness, reaching out, and suddenly she's remembering the banquet, the same light she saw before. Could it be? She's thrashing in the water, crying for help, and I loved how desperate this whole sequence feels. She's holding on inside there, my God, even managed to regain control of her body for a moment. Tears are streaming down her face, and the red-haired knight is freaking out, going, she's crying. That is just a shell being manipulated by the demonic sword, right? No, she is still in there, fighting. The audacity of this cursed blade, I swear. Here's the thing, Urine is watching all of this and something clicks. In the past, there was someone who overcame a demonic sword, a human who conquered it, awakened Sword Rasenza, and reclaimed their body. She's struggling so desperately that one small light is holding on with all its might, burning so fiercely. Keep that in your back pocket. And Urine just decides, I will leave the decision to you. It might just be possible. He cannot condemn an untested sin. Then he raises his sword and goes, food, slamming it down with this massive golden light exploding everywhere. This is definitely not knightly, someone yells, but Urine doesn't care. Commander, what exactly are you planning to do? I am going to give her a chance, he says, because I long for the light stuck at the bottom of the deep darkness to shine brilliantly once again. Oh, my heart. He's standing over her, all white hair and determination, and this is the moment that changes everything. Tell me you're not already hooked. Okay, so cut to later. Urine is back at headquarters, and his subordinate is like, Commander, what has the content? Same as before, it's an imperial command to hand over the demon immediately. Will this be all right? The Empire has just suffered a fatal blow with the annihilation of the subjugation squad. Right now, they probably only require the knight who served as their hands. But at this pace, there will be an outbreak of conflict stemming from knowing why the sword might have mutated. The imperial family might not, but the people are different. Urine just goes, I will keep the letter in storage, at least for the time being. You don't have the luxury to mess with us. They were being so messy about it, but Urine is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Then he starts monologuing to himself, and get this. When I first saw her, I didn't think she had the potential to become the sun, but the actual chances of that happening were extremely low. Honestly, it's a miracle she hasn't gone away. She will overcome it, even though we've never exchanged a single word. Before I know it, I find myself visiting this place every day. I want to see her triumph. I find myself wishing she will return. Once she overcomes everything and reclaims her body, victorious and divine that image, what kind of person will she be? There's nothing I can do, because this is a trial she must conquer on her own. I need to make preparations so that she can live once more. The best I can do is to prepare a place for her to stay when she returns. It would be nice if I could know her name. This comes back later, trust me. So he plants white flowers at a grave-like spot, saying he hasn't dug into her identity so that the people connected to her don't suffer any harm. When she wins and reclaims her body, I can just hear it directly from her then. Autumn, 1632. Flash forward, and Yuren is sitting with Crown Prince Crux de Hayden Corre, who has the same white hair. It seems His Majesty still cannot forget the second Empress. The prince is all my father-in-law simply because he inherited her green eyes. He is a person who regards a son who is nothing more than a. It's still many of you saying you're the most dangerous one, but I trust you, Yuren, because you have no interest in the throne, right? It is time to put an end to some ancient evil. Cooperate with me. What kind of cooperation do you want? It's something only you can do. Subdue the demonic sword that's trying to start a war in the Imperial Palace. Did you think I would push forward with this without a proper investigation? The overlying reason for the Azure Sky Knights to step in is right here. You just need to become my sword. What is this? It is the detailed account of how the second Empress was no more, and also the demonic sword Bardesiga. Urine is staring at this red book like it holds all the secrets of the universe, and honestly, it probably does. The prince just handed him the entire backstory of the demonic sword and the second empress, and now Urine has to decide what to do next. Yeah, that person is about to get pulled into something way bigger than a recruitment exam. Okay, chapter 53, things are about to get so much messier.